Hello, everybody. How's it going then? In it. Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I am currently waiting for David, who said that he's going to be here in a minute or two. Actually, he said he texted me earlier and said he's currently recording a video. Found the perfect time for that, of course. It said I will be on time or a little bit late. If I'm a little bit late, just start without me and I will join later. And this is just what you get. You see, this is what you get. David Wood is late. Draw your own conclusions. Maybe I should just play the song again, since we are late anyway. I'll play the song again. Just kidding. Maybe I should play this song. Haven't heard that in a while. Yeah. So today we want to talk about Jake Shields. Jake Shields is I'm kind of distracted right now. I just ordered a new microphone. Finally, after years of doing things, I ordered a better microphone. Finally thought I should do that, so I'm going to test it out later. Can't do that right now. But we're going to talk about Jake Shields, and who is a very interesting guy. For those who don't know, Jake Shields is a Twitter or X propagandist who makes a bunch of tweets about the Israel-Hamas issue since October 7. Before that, he didn't really care much about any of this. But this is the guy that we're talking about. He has like 600,000 followers, spreads a bunch of crap. I mean, I just opened this Twitter profile, and here he's already reposting a meme which depicts Jews as these evil people who are behind all the bad stuff in the world. But then he will just add his commentary to it and say, and by the way, I have nothing against Jews. And I don't know, he will make excuses for Islamists and Hamas, and spread the worst conspiracy theories, the dumbest things out there, which are easily debunked. And I challenged him to a debate. And I said, hey, how about we debate? And he said, okay, sure, if you can find a big platform, yeah, we can do it. And then within just a few minutes, Tim Pool was ready to host us. But then as soon as he heard that, he suddenly backed out of it. So that's very, very funny. Very, very funny. That's what we're doing today. The Jews. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Jews. Giovanni Garcia said, okay. Ayatollah Khamenei said, just got done watching UFC Best of Jake Shields, best 2 minutes of my life. We really? Maybe I should watch it too. I know. I was kind of thinking maybe he will be like Mohammed Hijab and he'll be like, okay, I will fight you, but first you have to get in the ring with me and fight me. I mean, I will debate you, but first you have to get in the ring with me and fight me. That'll be funny. Ghost Band. Jake Shields. UFC. It's funny. Earlier when I was a few days ago when I was tweeting about
the truth on our side.
about debating him, some people were like, "Oh, aren't you afraid of him? Oh, he's gonna beat you up and stuff." And I'm just there thinking, it would actually be nice if I got beat up by this guy. Yeah, he would totally beat me up. He's an MMA fighter. But why would I be scared of that? If he actually assaulted me, if he actually attacked me, I could just sue him and then finance the works of this channel for quite some time. So that will be just beneficial for us. Just always have to think think in the best way possible. I don't find any such video. Ayatollah Khamenei. Unfortunately, Ryan Gosling said, "Inshallah, inshallah with a goat, inshallah with a goat." All we need is now David Wood's goat. David Wood. I should text him. What a weakling! What a weakling! How unprofessional. ES1002 said, "Shalom, brother Ridvan. How are you, minority sex?" Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ayatollah Khamenei, please donate to AP for the Jake Shields Hydrocephalia Fund. Hydrocephalia? Does it even mean anything? Cephalia. That is water in the brain? Huh. That's funny. Oh, okay, I get it. Ryan Gosling, AP needs to stop trying to debate people named Jake. I don't know, maybe that's the problem. With Daniel, for example, it worked. After he backed out, he actually agreed to it, but maybe there's something about the name Jake. Leah Nozick said, "Hello, AP. He might be a fighter, but he don't want to go to jail. Alhamdulillah." Well, that's too bad. It's too bad. Too bad. Muhammad Hijab, the name. It sounds like boob-connected string tanker to me. Okay. Huh? That's interesting. That's interesting. Where's David Wood? I'm waiting for him. He said he's going to be here on time or a few minutes late. Now it's already 13 minutes late and he's still not here. If the trajectory continues as it is, then he might be much, much more late than we previously thought. Your country needs you. Okay. Let's see what else this guy. Myth of peaceful Israel. Israel is using snipers to kill Palestinian civilians. Yeah, totally. All of that without evidence. Genocide. He says there's a genocide going on. That's pretty funny. Here's Ben Shapiro denying a genocide because your handler is this Pussy, said Jackson Hinkle. So Jake Shields is basically like a more human version of Jackson Hinkle. Jackson Hinkle is like there's something severely wrong with this guy. There's something really, really wrong with him. It's not even acting like a real human. It doesn't look like a real human. Doesn't act and talk or even smile like a real human. And just spreads the weirdest things on social media. And I don't know, sides with the worst people in the world. Jake Shields, I would say, is more human than Jackson Hinkle. And unfortunately, he is just a propagandist for Hamas, for Islamists, for neo-Nazis, and so on. He will frequently also talk about, frequently reference Nick Fuentes, for example, who is a neo-Nazi as well. Let me look up something here quickly. Let's see. From Jake Shields. Let's look for some tweets here. Now, Let me search this guy's Twitter page for some tweets about Nick Fuentes. According to Grok, Nick was banned from violating rules, even though no exact rule was broken. X is a free speech platform except for Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes. I never listened to Nick Fuentes because I was told he was a monster. I still don't know most of his views, but he's done by far the best commentary of any pundit on this war. This guy is actually encouraging an actual neo-Nazi, an actual fascist. Nick Fuentes believes that that democracy should be abolished, a fascist state should be established, racial separation should be brought back, the Jews should be persecuted, and all that. He believes in all kinds of interesting things. So this is who he promotes and supports on here, while also acting like, oh, I'm just about, it's just about anti-Zionism. I don't have anything against Jews. David, where's David? Have you eaten David? Nope, unfortunately not. I am a fan of cannibalism, but not in that way. Not in that way. Let's see. Let's see what he tweeted about Islam. I'm just looking through random things right now because I'm going to talk about what actually happened between us. When I was young, I read a few of his books, and all he does is mock Christianity and Islam. It never mentions Judaism. When I was young, how old are you? How old is Jake Shields? Let's see. Jake Shields, how old is he? When I was young, he's 45 years old. When was he young and he read a few of Sam Harris's books and saw that he only just mocks Christianity and Islam and never talks about Judaism? When did Sam Harris even write his first book about the whole issue? Sam Harris wrote, where is that? The End of Faith. The End of Faith. When did Sam Harris write that? 2004. All right, okay, fine. I guess if you are 45 years old and you consider yourself, you refer to your mid-20s as when I was young, I guess that's fine. That's acceptable. I don't know, whatever. David is awfully quiet today, I know. Sajid Lipa made a video about why did I leave Christianity for Islam. Ooh, we should review that, totally. Yeah, for those who just joined and who are asking, where is David Wood? I'm still waiting for David Wood. David Wood said he will be here on time or a few minutes late because he is recording a video and doing a few other things. But unfortunately, he's still not here. That's the problem. Atakan became a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much for joining the cult and making sure that we come closer to global domination. For those who haven't seen it, earlier I had a live stream with these two Orthodox Jews to respond to Daniel Hakikich's commentary on the Talmud and Judaism, and also to ask them a few questions. I also had my questions for them. And they showed me a little bit how they do all the, controlling the weather, controlling the world, and all of that stuff, how it works as Jews. I'm learning from them so that I can expand my cult and start ruling the world instead of the Jews. Yes. And if you become a YouTube channel member, you're just becoming part of that cult. Thank you. Watching said AP, the South Africa genocide prelim decision is coming tomorrow. What do you think it will be? Will the judges be urinating upon one another? Probably, most likely.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
I have to follow the issue as well at the ICJ genocide trial accusation. We'll see what happens. I think that it's incredibly unlikely that there will be eventually or along the way, any conclusion that Israel is guilty of anything here, because what needs to happen is basically the court has to be convinced that Israel is committing genocide and that Israel has the intention to commit genocide, so that Israel is waging a war and unjustly and unnecessarily killing an entire group of people with the intention of committing a genocide. So they have to prove intention and the implementation of that intention. And so far, South Africa hasn't made a case for that. and I doubt that that they can establish such a case. It's just a ridiculous accusation based on TikTok videos. So, and that's the level of law and uh, of intellectual approach that South Africa has so far presented. TikTok videos. They actually did use TikTok videos at the International Court of Justice. Some people think it's very laughable that Daniel Kikiju referred to TikTok videos as evidence during his debate with me, but South Africa actually used TikTok videos in front of the International Court to accuse Israel. That's funny. The White Wolf said, "Atheist Jew here. Am I more or less capable of controlling the weather and world politics? How do I activate my powers?" You have to. Did nobody tell you this? You have to meet up with the International High Council of Jews, where they will then teach you the basics of how to control the weather and all of that. That's only the beginning of that. Byron Maldonado made a super chat. Thank you so much. Big Smoke said. Big Smoke from GTA San Andreas said, "Do you think Muhammad would have followed the train?" He would have followed the train, definitely. I don't know what train you're talking about. What train are you talking about? I don't know. Ayatollah Khamenei said, "Nick Fuentes' mouth says I'm a theocrat, but his mustache says otherwise." I know Nick Fuentes is trying to depict himself as this religious, Jesus-loving Catholic who just wants to follow religious morality and religious laws, but most people don't buy it. The guy is just full of it. Wait, I didn't even notice that this guy posted so much about Islam. What do all my Muslim brothers think about this? Gay pride has passed Christianity as the main religion of the West. Jeez, speak of exaggerating. Are you going to let them turn Islam gay too? Did this guy start talking about Islam only after Andrew Tate? Let's see. No, he talked about it before. Shit like this is why if I ever convert will be Islam over Christianity. Islam being an enemy was created, not Islam, lol. I guess I probably should have worded it differently. It sucks they hold the anti-Islam ideology, but feel like it's gotten far better than before. Seems it was a blanket stemmons on Islam. Some of it, I didn't actually listen to Kanye's interview. What is Islam wins, he won't approve. What if Islam wins, the guy can type. It's funny watching Sam Harris push to get people banned for hate speech when he's made a career out of hating Muslims. What is with his defense of Islam? I didn't even notice this before. Huh. Radical Islam was always a very small, almost non-existent threat in America. The media, CIA pushed constant fear of terrorism and was ate up, causing unnecessary racism. The treatment of Trump supporters was eye-opening to many on the right, making them realize their mistake. This guy is just completely deluded. He wants to stand with Trump supporters and then also speak of the Islamists as these unnecessarily vilified people. The guy should probably try to read the room a little bit, right? I'm not a conservative, but it's very clear you have a very strong anti-Islam agenda. What is with this guy in Islam? White supremacy is the new boogeyman the FBI, CIA are using to replace radical Islam. What's funny about this is when you talk to the European right wing, like the right wing in Germany, in France, and many of these European countries, when you talk to regular patriots in those countries, you will get some very, very strong anti-Islam and anti-Muslim stances. When you then go over to America and you talk to so-called some of these weirdo patriots like this guy, you will see them trying to depict Islam as the victim because they're completely out of touch with what Islam actually does in societies where it's very much present. This guy could go as a right-winger and go to Europe and go to some gatherings and be like, hey guys, hey dear nationalists, hey dear patriots, don't you guys agree that Islam is being unnecessarily vilified? They would probably say, are you insane? Are you insane right now? Get the hell out of here. Pregnant trans man. Islam was never a serious threat to the West. Yeah, let's just forget about the history, man. Let's just forget about the history of Islam trying to penetrate the West again and again and again and again, and even doing so right now. Like, this is the insanity, the levels of insanity to which it goes. Like, Jake Shields talks about Jews as the threat, right? Jews allegedly are controlling the West and controlling America, but everything is going just fine. But then he's trying to make it look like Islam was never a threat when you have Islamists in the West and everywhere suggesting that we should ban every criticism of Islam, that we should that Islam should become a state religion, that Sharia should be implemented, and so on. You have people that this guy interacted with suggesting that Islam should take over the West. These people are just so insane, man. This guy took a few too many punches to his head. Islam being an enemy, it sucks. They hold anti-Islam ideology. What is Islam wins? Insult Islam, you will fear for your life. Insult Judaism, you will fear for your job. Insult Christianity, and you will have nothing to fear. Huh. He said one thing here that is actually interesting. And Allah simply means God in Arabic. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, actually. Islam just keeps looking better and better. I'm really wondering in response to what he said this. Of course I can't, because I am blocked by by Samira Khan, who is a loving supporter of Andrew Tate. Man, these people. Okay, where was I? Here. Reading up on Islam has been extremely eye-opening. Come on, you don't read anything, Jake. Are you kidding me? You don't read anything. What are you talking about? I can figure out why many Westerners are converting to Islam. Who is actually converting to Islam? It's very possible that because I grew up in America, people will assume I've been exposed to Christianity more than Islam, but still seems they do a much better job reaching out. I'm not religious, but I think either Christianity to take their... When I speak about religion, Christians will often insult Islam, but Muslims almost never insult Christianity. Wow, I should wait and show this stuff to David. This is like regular stuff that you hear from these stupid Dawa people. Islam also loves Jesus, just believes he's a prophet, not a god. I'm not very big into conspiracy theories, but these are just things that the regular Dawa guys repeat all the time, that are just complete nonsense. And at this point, it just looks like, I don't know, maybe this guy is also being paid by Qatar or one of these other places. This is way Islam is the world's fastest growing religion. What is way? This is way Islam is the fastest. Young Muslim kids stomp the pride flag as their mothers cheer them on. This is why Islam is the world's fastest growing religion. Doesn't even make any sense. Still waiting for David. David. Let's see. Okay, just let him know that I'm still waiting here and falling asleep. I just sent your sister money. They aren't traffickers and have a massive respect for both Christianity and Islam. Oh, here he is defending Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. Islam calls for peace. I wanted to look at that one. I didn't ask about the Israeli government. Do you take money from Zionists? When I was a teenager, I read several Sam Harris books, and so on. Okay. Muslims. Still waiting for David Wood. He's supposed to be here soon. Muslim. Tunnels. Conspiracy theories about tunnels. This is interesting. Spreading the conspiracy theory that Jews are building tunnels for child trafficking in New York City. So stupid, man. This guy is just so dumb. The best thing probably comes up when you go into what he tweeted about Jews. Jewish lawyers, this is a must read, on who's behind mass third world immigration. To be clear, I believe most Jews also don't want mass immigration, but it's mostly Jews who are behind mass migration. This is a must read. Okay. Yeah, totally, bro. The funny thing is, he's being very much followed right now by Islamists who love mass migration to Europe, and then he's complaining about mass migration. I don't even get it. None of this makes any sense. David Wood is making Salah. Yeah, probably. Moose Slim. Any news on Hatun? Last news we got was that she got in touch with David Wood and said that she's all right. She just needs a little bit of she just doesn't want to share anything at the moment. That's the latest news. This thread claims that the founder of Hitler's SS unit was Jewish. It sounded too ridiculous to be true, but I checked and it is. Jesus. In later years, Himmler wanted him out of the SS, but Hitler overruled him. With all the fake news, imagine how much history must be fake. And I'm certainly not saying Hitler liked Jews, but also makes the idea that he was trying to exterminate all of them seem a little bit strange. Gee, oh, are you kidding me? Wow, he tweeted this today? Oh, man. I totally need to debate this guy and call him out on the ridiculously insane nonsense that he spreads, taken directly from neo-Nazis. Wow. Wow. He takes this information from an account. He follows and retweets an account that spreads these conspiracy theories that the Jews are actually descendants of these Khazarians, these Turkic people who converted to Judaism, which is a long debunked, discredited hypothesis, and which talks trash about Jews and glorifies German nationalism and so on. And let's see, the historical contradictions about the man and his view on life should raise red flags to most. The pictures of him playing with his dog, with the bird that landed on his shoulder, the squirrels that would walk, and so on, make them see a man who loves all living things. This is an actual account that praises Hitler. This is nowadays a thing on Twitter, and this has become popular again on Twitter since October 7th. This is an account that actually, look, he was the greatest leader there ever was. This is an account that actually praises Hitler. And this is what Jake Shields follows and promotes, while also trying to make it look like, oh no, I'm not saying Jews are bad. I'm just saying we should reconsider some of the things we think. I have to say, as a German speaker and as somebody who actually read Hitler's book and listened to so many of his speeches, most of his speeches actually, possibly even all. I think I listened to all of Hitler's speeches in German. It's so laughable to me that some people who don't understand German or who haven't researched the very same thing would sit here and act like Hitler is a totally slandered, misunderstood guy, and that he never planned on exterminating the Jews and stuff like that. The guy was openly in his speeches. First off, he was in his book speaking of how he himself and his movement itself would be the only one that can find a solution to the Jewish question, to the Jewish problem, and that without finding a solution to this, nothing can be solved in Europe. Then he, in his speeches, increasingly he was getting genocidal when it comes to the Jews, and he even said certain things in many of these in many of his speeches, such as that the Jews are at war with the Europeans and with the Aryan race, but that the only outcome of this would be the complete extermination of the international Jewry. For example, these are words by Hitler. Like if you listen to the guy and what he actually said, you can hear very clearly that the guy was that the guy intended and he wanted to exterminate Jews. And we have records, German records, in which we can over and over again confirm that his intention was, in the end, to exterminate the Jews. And yet we have these bastards here nowadays who are like, oh, he was so misunderstood. He was actually a fantastic guy. He was a hero. He never had any intention to exterminate anybody. He was a person full of love. Man. Hey, Super Genius, what's up? Hello?
Yo, what's up?
Good, what's up? We are live.
Yeah, that's cool. Let me fix this.
Don't say anything stupid. We are live right now. Just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Don't say anything.
Hey, AP, you got our shekels?
Yeah, they sent me some earlier.
No, sorry, I'm late, everyone. I was people wonder why I haven't been why I haven't been posting as many videos as in previous years. In AP's case, it's because he's a lazy bum. Me have not been able, my schedule with my wife is just massively off because now I stay up at night and she stays up during the day, and that's worked in the past because then like right in the evening, right before she goes to bed, we would record and stuff like that. Whereas now there's all this other stuff that happens in the evening, like picking up, the kid and piano lessons and all this crap, and so we never line up anyway. I was like, I got to get it done right now. I got to get one out. And it just took forever. Although it's pretty dope. I went through the bare minimum of things in the Quran that should cause Muslims to rethink their interpretation of 4:157, that Jesus didn't die by crucifixion. And I cut everything out and just kept like the basics. And it's like a half hour. It's like over a half hour video. That's why it took like an hour to record. Anyway, that should that'll be up tomorrow for channel members, and probably Saturday for everyone else. All right, what's up? Talking about this Jake Shields dude?
That's fantastic. Yes, we're talking about the Jake Shields thing. But the reason that I'm
jealous because he's an MMA
publishing videos is
I already said it's because of laziness.
Matter.
No, it's a metaphysical matter.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Yeah. So we're talking about Jake Shields. David, what do you know about Jake Shields so far?
Nothing except for the cup. I know he's an MMA fighter. And I don't know if that was after, because I used to pay a little bit of attention to MMA. I don't recall him, so maybe that was like after I was. I mean, I watched it like real early on, like UFC 1, 2, 3, when it was Hoist Gracie and Chemo, and then Shamrock and all these other guys, and then so yeah.
It's actually pronounced Ma. Just so you know.
What?
It's not MMA. It's Ma.
Ma. Yeah, that's your theme song.
Yeah. It's just missing the R sound. Ma. That's
Imagine if you were an MMA fighter and you rolled out with that. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
So then I paid a little bit of attention here and there to specific fighters, but yep, not familiar with Jake Shields, except he sounds like a dope, and I'll be honest, sounds like a grifter.
Bigly, because you also you caught what his reasoning is. What his reason is why he suddenly backed out of debating me, right?
I want to get paid. I'm not getting paid. Now, who says that when you're like, it makes sense to say, hey, I'm going to go on this big podcast. You're going to have to pay my travel expenses and things like that. It's something else to say, hey, if you want me to do this thing that I agreed to do, then I got to know how much you're going to pay me for this. And
I ain't doing that for free.
Yeah, and it also makes it's people very frequently get paid for doing things, speaking engagements, debates, things like that. But I mean, this is something he was agreeing to do. He's agreeing to do. You get a big platform, and I'll do it. That's a different situation. That's okay. Who's the platform that's going to help us do what I already agreed to do? Tim Cass says we'll do it, and then it's okay. Well, there's got to be a big check involved for me to go on there and completely humiliate myself. And so, yeah, that does sound that's grifter status, guys. Keep in mind, grifter. Just because someone may say something that you completely agree with, and the person may still be a grifter, knowing that there are people like you they agree with. So don't assume just because someone's shouting free Palestine that he actually believes that. Don't assume that someone who's defending Israel actually believes that. Don't always assume that every Christian who's telling you something is believes what he's saying, or that every Muslim who says something actually believes what he's saying. There are all kinds of people who take advantage of other people's beliefs. So you got to look for these little signs, and one of them is, I'm ready to debate. I'm ready to debate. Okay, come over here and debate. Oh, no, because you're not paying me enough, huh? What are you going to pay me? All right. Okay, so this is about money. This really sounds like it's about money at this point.
Yeah. For example, I for example say always that I'm only doing this because I'm getting paid by Mossad. Otherwise, I don't care.
Yeah,
at all
you're honest about it. You're honest about it. So that's not grifting.
Yeah, I don't care at all about Israel, Palestine, whatever it is.
Mhm.
But
True.
but this guy, he's acting. But this guy is acting like he's.
We always forget that there are people who don't understand joking. Fareed's going to be like, David Wood and the Apostate Prophet admit.
And they're doing this only for money, and the audience is not even saying anything. Look at this right here. What are they going to say about this? I exposed him right now. Yeah. So the history is all right. Let me just put some things here on the screen here. There's a lot of back and forth that I had with Jake Shields. For example, stuff like this here, where he tweets, "Israel is basically the country that we were taught Nazi Germany was.
Nazi Germany was.
Racist supremacists willing to commit genocide, not to have to live with other races and stuff like that." I call him a Nazi apologist for that. He responded to me very often. I respond to something he says, and I didn't even begin interacting with him. He started interactions with me. I started. He started appearing in my comments on Twitter, and I was kind of surprised because he has like much higher number of followers, which much of which he actually acquired after October 7. And he started commenting like the dumbest things in response to my tweets, and I started interacting with him. And here is the thing. Here it was. Oh yeah. I said to him, Jake Shields is a Nazi apologist. He said he doesn't bother denying that he is a Jewish supremacist trying to commit genocide. What does it even mean? These clowns think they can...
Where are the clowns?
Yeah, these clowns think they can yell Nazi or Holocaust and we will remain silent as they murder innocent children. Sadly, this works on most people. I don't even get it.
Notice you weren't criticizing him. You weren't criticizing him for saying, "Hey, don't murder children." You were criticizing him for making it look like, "Oh yeah, we were taught this about Nazi Germany, but Israel Jews are the real Nazis."
Yeah. He doesn't bother denying that he is a Jewish supremacist trying to commit genocide. I guess it's talking about me. I don't know. I'm trying to commit genocide. In response to that, I said, I challenge you to debate me on the Israel-Hamas war and all the ignorant, misinformed nonsense you have been posting here. I promise I will make you regret it. I must have been a little bit angry when I tweeted this. He said, sure, if you have a large platform that we can debate on. At first I tagged...
Wait. So he said, sure. He's ready to do it if, so it's a conditional, if you have a large platform that we can debate on, sure. Yeah. I accept if you have a large platform that we can debate on. So maybe you didn't find a large platform to debate on, and so that's why.
My first thought was actually, since I can reach them easily, to tag Modern Day Debate and said, James, can we arrange a debate? But it wasn't necessary at all, because as soon as it dropped, this came. Lisa Elizabeth, who has been in touch with me for Tim Pool for quite a while, only 10 minutes after his tweet said, "We can host you on Tim Pool's Culture War."
And that, for anyone who doesn't know Tim Pool, that is a huge platform. I mean, apart from something like, Joe Rogan or something agreeing to it, that's about as huge as you could possibly get.
Yeah.
For something like this.
Here she said, "Timcast can host and moderate. Just let me know." Happened immediately. So all he said is, "Oh yeah, sure. If you have a big platform." And then I didn't even have to look. The big platform immediately arrived. Lisa said, "Tim Pool can host and moderate. Just let me know." And I thought, oh, hey, that's perfect. Perfect. We have Tim Pool. Tim Pool, one of the main figures here in these conversations at the moment. Perfect. I'm sure he will accept that. So I said, so Jake Shields, there is a big platform. He didn't respond to this, I believe. He suddenly disappeared. Then I messaged him, said, "Hey, we are trying to arrange this debate. So what's up? We can do this at the end of this month." And then he said, I don't want to show all the DMs there, but he basically said, it's like they have been trying to get me there for quite a while, but I'm a busy person. I travel a lot already. I would have to travel there, and it's not even paid. Like, they won't pay me anything. I will have to do it for free. At least if it was for business, it would be worth it. But I don't want to travel that long. And I said to him, "Hey, are you serious right now? This is." You asked for a big platform. We have a big platform, and now you're saying you don't want to do it because you don't have time and because they don't pay you. How about this? I'm sure you can arrange a fundraiser, a GoFundMe.
Yeah, he can easily do a GoFundMe.
If it's so much about money for you, I'm sure you can organize this, and people will pay money actually to pay you and to make you debate. And he was like, he said, "No, fundraiser is lame."
What? we can do it for you, James. Jake, I don't know. So what is this, man? Okay, so
and then he said, what he actually said to me, "I'm not even doing this for money. I just talk crap online for fun. This is what I do." That's how he described all his tweets about Israel-Palestine issues. He said, "I'm just doing this for fun. I don't actually, do this for money or anything like that. It's just for fun." And then he said, "What exactly is the topic you are looking to argue?" And I then suggested, I said, "Well, the Israel-Hamas war, and who's responsible, and what's happening, and everything that we have been saying ever since." Then he told me, "I'm more concerned with Israel's control of America, and a fundraiser is lame anyway. I am here in Vegas. If anyone wants to come, just come here. I can't go over there."
Wait, he's in Vegas?
Yeah.
So it's not even that big a trip.
No.
When you were like, he's complaining it's too far, I was thinking like maybe he was like training in Russia or something like that, and that's too long a trip.
I thought he was on some island in the Pacific or something, but no, he's just right here. Like, it would just be a flight, a regular flight, to do something interesting, to do some activism, to do something that he seemingly cares about.
To defend Palestinian children. Imagine that, Jake. There's a Palestinian child over there who's about to fall into a river. Will you save them? Well, how much am I getting paid? What kind of check am I getting for doing that? My goodness, man.
What is this?
Trouble here.
Can he withstand 2 more minutes of this? This is close to being over.
Jake Shields is in big trouble here.
That's Jake Shields getting the crap beat out of him. They're saying you're that guy. They're saying you're the guy with the ponytail.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we see whose side the ladies are on. That's what Jake is worried about. The ladies are against him.
I mean, I have respect for MMA fighters.
Yeah, me too.
For what they do. It's a very rough sport, and having achievements in that field is, of course, very respectable. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't even claim that Jake Shields is scared to face me. I'm not even saying that this is about me. My thought here is simply that this guy is talking so much nonsense because it works, because he gets interactions from it, and he is afraid of having a public debate and being questioned and pushed in the simplest and mildest ways about the things that he spouts on Twitter, on social media. That's it. It doesn't have to be me. It could be anybody who is arguing from my position, or who is holding, who disagrees with him. I don't think that he is willing or able to get into an actual debate that is live streamed with anybody. He's just.
And it's so weird. Because you were talking about, we have respect for MMA fighters. That's tons of training. That's lots of discipline. If you get to where, and there, how many millions upon millions of people are in MMA, and they never get to where, they're actually in the octagon as a professional fighter. So the amount of training and discipline and courage to do all that, to go through all that, when you're going against another fighter who's going to smash your face in, like we just saw Jake getting his face smashed in, yet he goes out there and does it. So he's got courage. You would think if someone is calling him out over his claims, he'd be like, let's do it, unless he doesn't have a lot of confidence in what he's actually saying. And so that's the concern, or unless he doesn't unless he's pretending to care and he doesn't really care. So it's two things. One, does he actually believe that his claims would stand up to scrutiny? If he doesn't, you obviously don't want to debate. You want to just tweet things, knowing that you're never sitting with someone face to face. And two, does he even really care about these things enough? Is it all just complete grip? Does he actually care about these things enough to want to go and travel and school someone and defend the poor little Palestinians? It doesn't look like it. And so I don't know how you take him seriously after that.
Yeah, with all due respect to his achievements and to all of the stuff that he's doing, it just looks like when it comes to these discussions, I don't know why he is part of them. Maybe he's getting paid for it. I don't know. But for whatever reason he is in there, he is very cowardly when it comes to his views, like this one here. I didn't even see this until I started this live stream, but I opened his Twitter page just to look at it. And his latest tweet is basically about a anti-Jewish conspiracy theory. This is a must-read thread on who's behind mass third world migration. To be clear, I believe most Jews also don't want mass migration, but it's mostly Jews who are behind mass migration. He retweets anti-Jewish and blatantly neo-Nazi things, including cartoons and heavy conspiracy theories, while also making it look like, oh, and by the way, I'm not saying this is about Jews. I'm not saying it's about most Jews. I'm aware that Jews are this and that. I'm just saying maybe we should think about this. And this is nothing. This is just a mild one. There's one earlier that I took out, which is where he retweets actual neo-Nazis and tries to sell their propaganda. He also tweets dumb stuff about Islam that he doesn't know anything about, by the way. But let's see, where was that? Islam calls for peace, he said, by the way.
You know what's weird about the conspiracy theories? Because I hear these all the time, and people will send me messages. David, you're complaining about jihadis, all these jihadis being in immigrating to the UK and this and that, but it's the Jews who are sending them there. The Jews are bringing them in to take over. I'm like, wait, guys, you're the ones telling me. You're simultaneously telling me. People are simultaneously telling me Jews are killing Muslims in Gaza because they want to exterminate all Muslims, and Jews are helping Muslims take over the world. Jews are helping the group that wants to annihilate them. The people who believe that their prophet declared the end will not come until the Jews are hiding behind trees, and the rocks and trees call out, there's a Jew hiding behind me, come kill him. The Jews are making sure those guys take over the world. That's your theory. That's how the world's working. Jews want to exterminate Islam and help it take over the world simultaneously. That's your theory. And it becomes clear that basically anything you don't like in the world, you just say Jews are doing it.
Jews must be at the same time the smartest people and also the dumbest people out there.
Yeah, it's like they're evil because they want genocide, but they're completely incompetent at genocide. It's like everything they do. It's like this. You're simultaneously accusing them of two different.
They're
opposite things.
masterminds who are controlling the world and who are behind all the stuff that is happening, including mass immigration. But they are also stupid enough to import all the people who want to get rid of them into their own spaces. Fantastic. Wow. Great narrative. Amazing. Well done. Wow.
Hey, I just glanced because I was I shared that we were having this on Twitter. I want to make sure the tweet went through, and then I saw that the Muslim cowboy got fact checked. He got a community note. He's got Muslim cowboy. So Muslim cowboy says, "Yep, it's me. We support our prophet's marriage to Aisha at 9." Jake Shields be like, "Oh yes, based supporting marriage to little 9-year-olds. Ooh, yes, I'd like to get in the octagon with a 9-year-old girl, just like the Muslim cowboy." So no big deal. She was a woman through and through. And then I haven't even read the community note. I just saw that there is one. Males and females below the age of consent cannot consent to sex, regardless of what others may say. This is true psychologically, legally, and universally called rape.
Ooh, that's what the community note says.
Any minor faced with this post situation should call 911 immediately. See childhelphotline.org for more. Did you find this helpful? Did I? Let me see this. Gotta click yes. That's awesome.
Oh, I see it now. This is it, right?
Yep,
it's me. We support our prophet's marriage. Males or females below the age of consent cannot consent to sex, regardless of what others may say. This is true psychologically, legally, and universally called rape. Wow. Okay. Any minor faced with the post situation should call 911 immediately. That is funny. That is funny.
very good.
But will he accept this? No, it's because the Prophet Muhammad knows best, together with Allah. Prophet Muhammad knows best. Alhamdulillah. David would accept marriage to a 9-year-old. Hey, wait a minute. What is this?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Hey, save that. I thought he was doing a big live stream on me. It's a short video, so we can go through it right now. But I was thinking we'd do that for one of our other shows this weekend.
We could do that for.
Yeah, we do a whole show on. I don't even know what it's about. He's got me at the thing with Sheikh Uthman, so it must have been some part of the discussion. I don't know if he comments or if it's just a clip there, but yeah, we can watch that. Because I do like talking about the Muslim cowboy. Yeah.
Oh, here, look at this. This thread claims that the founder of Hitler's SS unit was Jewish. It sounded too ridiculous to be true, but I checked and it is. Here, Jake Shields is following and retweeting an actual neo-Nazi account. Are you seeing this, David? You seeing this?
Wait.
I'm certainly
not saying
Hitler liked Jews, but
I'm not saying he loved them.
Yeah. Also makes the idea that he was trying to exterminate them all seem a little strange. And he retweets a neo-Nazi account that is actually engaging in these ridiculously insane, stupid conspiracy theories and historical revisionism, and that also praise Hitler. Like when you scroll down here, I only discovered this just at the beginning of this live stream. You scroll down here and you will find things like these, demonizing these Jews as fake people who descend from Khazarians. But here, a tweet actually praising Hitler and showing how we have been fooled about him. He actually loved all living beings. He played with dogs and fed birds and things like that.
True, he did love dogs, so they got that right.
So this is the kind of stuff that Jake Shields
the other
promotes.
stuff, not so much.
Yeah, this is what Jake Shields promotes, and this is just
he loved Jews.
There are people who are nowadays who deny the Holocaust, who deny the Holocaust numbers, who some insane people still go around saying, "Oh, Hitler was totally misrepresented, slandered," and so on. The guy wasn't slandered. We know for a fact, beyond reasonable doubt, 100%, 100% without
100%
any doubt, beyond reasonable doubt,
Brian.
indisputably, that that Hitler himself, together with many of his men, had the plan, the explicit plan to exterminate all Jews in Europe. They laid it out and recorded it and talked about it on many fronts. They had it. There was no framing. It's all proven. The numbers are right. The numbers are estimated to be close to 6 million Jews being exterminated. It is the actual number is supposed to be close to 6 million. We will never know the real most precise number, but that is the closest to the correct number that we get. And we have statements by Hitler himself. We have writings. We have recordings of the records of the Wannsee Protocol or Wannsee Protocol, where they detailed a plan where they want to exterminate all of the Jews in Europe, region by region, and make each one of them Judenfrei or Judenrein, which means free from Jews or cleansed of Jews, and so on. These are not things that are that are questionable. All of this is proven. It is proven beyond reasonable doubt. And anyone today who tries to depict the Nazis and Hitler differently is only doing so not because they're onto something, but rather because they're hateful, Nazi-supporting pieces of whatever you want to call it. And this here is a clear Nazi post, and Jake Shields will support things like those, and then act like, oh no, I'm just saying something's not right out there. I'm not saying they deserve to be killed. I'm not saying all Jews are bad. I'm just saying there's something about Jews that we should think about. I'm just saying there's something about Hitler we should think about. Which is why I just want to encounter this guy and just
Who, Hitler?
Yeah.
And guys, keep in mind the person who's explaining all this right now, AP. You can't say he's biased. He's one of the biggest fans of Hitler's speeches who's ever been on YouTube. And he grew up in Nazi Germany. So
well, there's one there's one piece of truth to that, which is that I actually listened to all of Hitler's speeches in German. So and I know that most neo-Nazis haven't done that. So
yeah. They can't take it. They can't take
it. Here's another extremely ignorant piece of post by. Look at this. This is just insane. This is why I want to debate this guy. Look at this. 22,000 likes. 22,000 likes, nearly 1 million views on a completely stupid, nonsensical post. A post which says, like this here, it says, this little speck of Jewish blue amidst all that Muslim green apparently enrages some people. You can't tell me it's not a mental illness. He responds to that with, probably because that was all Muslims learned until when in 1947 Jewish people came and ethnically cleansed them. Wait, this is not even the tweet. There was another tweet where he said there was a Jewish state. Wait a minute. I need to find that quickly. That's even worse. But this is the kind of nonsense that he spreads.
And this is, so notice you got an MMA fighter. He'll get a certain degree of popularity just for being an MMA fighter. And he has, war breaks out. And then, hey, if I just start posting every conspiracy theory about Jews I get a ton of supporters. Well, that's true. You can do that and can get a ton of supporters doing that sort of thing. But kind of suggests that you're not someone we would take seriously. And then the further question is, do you even take it seriously? Which is why someone would challenge you to debate. And then if you back out, it's I don't know. Guy sounded like a total dumb grifter.
Here, I believe in a 23 state solution. The Arabs get 22 states, the Jews get 1, and so on this year. He tweets, except that one was also a Arab state until the Jews came in and ethnically cleansed.
Whoa, hey, I didn't actually know that. AP, there was an Arab state there, and the Jews came in and took it. There was an Arab state there. What was it? So if I look it up on a map, there's going to be an Arab state there, right? Until Jews came in and ethnically cleansed it, there was an Arab state. So there's an Arab state. They're just sitting there minding their own business. A bunch of Jews come in and ethnically cleansed it. 1947.
Almost correct, except you kept saying an Arab state. It's actually a Arab state.
Oh yeah, a Arab state.
Yeah, there was a Arab state here, a Arab state here. However, we don't know what it was called.
Hmm.
We don't know what it was called. We don't know how when it was established. We don't know who founded it. We don't know anything about it. But there was an Arab state. There was a Arab state here until the Jews came in and ethnically cleansed it and nobody knows how that happened. Like they just got in there, walked into that state, and just ethnically cleansed it, and then turned it into Israel. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
Nobody knows.
Yeah,
Nobody
weird.
knows. Yep.
Huh.
This is the kind of stupidity that this guy spreads on social media, and you have thousands of people retweeting this and liking it. Anybody who is aware of the basic history of this stuff here, I mean, I understand that if you don't know, that's fine, right? But you shouldn't be tweeting about it as if you know something. If you don't know, there was no Arab state here, and this is not a debate. There simply was no Arab state here. There would be a debate about whether Arabs owned land there, or whether it should belong to them, whether it's morally theirs or not. But there simply was no Arab state there. There was no such thing. In fact, in 1947, the Arabs were offered to build a state there by the British alongside a Jewish state, and the Arabs rejected it. And in fact, the first suggestion to establish a state in this region came in the 1920s, and the Arabs rejected it and said there should not be a separate state here. This should be part of Syria. That was the Arab position back in the day. So there never was an idea for a state, and there never was a state. The first Arab state in this region that was established was in the 1980s, and that one doesn't even have any land. It is just a state without land, a state in exile. That's what's happening here.
So you're saying there was a state there, Arab state.
Arab state. Giovanni Garcia said Mike Roch was recently calling you out as well and saying to debate him on the minority sects in Islam. Man, I'm sick of this Mike Roch.
Yeah. You know who's better than him though? Mahbub. Remember Mahbub?
Yeah.
Mahbub. He's the authority over there in India.
Mike Roch has been really bothering me recently, and I don't know. Maybe I should challenge him to a debate too. Terrible stuff. Yak said the irrefutable proof that Nick Fuentes is a genius is the undeniable fact that you can name any one bad thing ever happened in all recorded history, and he can show you the Jew who caused it all. Yeah. Jake is also a defender of Nick Fuentes, by the way, David, in case you don't know.
Shocker.
Big shocker. Bigly shocker. Thogi said, Sam Harris mocks all religions equally. He's very fair and square, and he's proud of that.
We're proud of that.
This is because Jake was saying in another tweet that he read Sam Harris's book, and Sam Harris never criticizes Judaism, only mocks Christianity and Islam. Pretty sure I've heard him actually debate a rabbi. Libel said Doomsday Clock was set for 90 seconds to 12, and all that without our German intervention makes me feel like an evil winner this time. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, exactly. Ayatollah Khamenei said if you look at Jake's most recent X, he is advocating gunning down border crossers with a 240B as a small crew served machine gun. He sounds pretty Islamic to me. Really? Let's see. He retweets something that says useless faggot. Interesting. They can avoid getting mowed down by 240 beasts and razor wire entirely by not trying to illegally enter my country. Yeah, I don't really care about this whole discussion, to be honest. So can't say anything about that. I know David is a big fan of violently stopping people from entering the country.
Yeah. Well, it's really violently stopping anyone who annoys me even slightly, and so.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm usually in favor of eating them. JFK was assassinated over 50 years ago, but there's something they refuse to let the American people see. And I'm sure it's a conspiracy theory now about Jews.
Oh, now it's Israel that did it?
Israel assassinated the sitting president of the United States.
I've just discovered this new proof. Look at this. I've got this secret document, AP. John Wilkes Booth was a Jew. He shot Abraham Lincoln.
I actually found proof for that.
Hey,
a while
did
ago.
you know Brutus was a Jew? That's why he stabbed Julius Caesar
Yeah.
and tried to take olive oil from Popeye.
It's actually the other way around. Julius Caesar was a Palestinian, and he was stabbed and killed because of that. You're a little bit late with the whole Abraham Lincoln thing, because I actually found that.
Oh
proof
yeah, I
a
forgot
while
about
ago.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why the Jews killed him.
Yeah. One thing they don't teach Americans at school is that Abraham Lincoln was a Palestinian Muslim, which is why he was assassinated.
Yeah, you didn't include the fact that John Wilkes Booth was a Jew.
Yeah, it was actually the Mossad that assassinated him back in the day.
Yeah, Mossad, using technology from the future, traveled back in time, like Terminator sort of scenario. John Wilkes Booth, whose real name was John Wilkes Feldman, and went back and assassinated Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, 1002 said if Israel wanted it would turn Gaza to Glaza. That's good.
Yeah, they could.
They could indeed.
One
Giovanni
big parking lot.
Garcia said, reading up on Islam has been extremely eye-opening. Islam, the Prophet was always covered in... Oh, man.
That is, people keep sending me the videos of like completely clueless morons who, I heard about Islam and it's so wonderful. My goodness.
Here,
It's
reading up on
weird.
Islam
It's
has been
weird though
magnificent.
that the people that these new converts it's weird because they were clearly given the dawah from like 12 years ago because they're saying the stuff from 12 years ago and they're not giving the new dawah, which is like, of course we're gonna bone 9-year-olds. Ha ha! Of course we're gonna kill all the apostates. It's like, where are these people getting their dawah from when it's from 12 years ago? Are they watching old videos or something? I don't even know.
We'll be watching. Let's see. Jake Shields said, I can't figure out why many Westerners are converting to Islam. According to him, many Westerners are converting to Islam. Who do you usually hear this from, David? Like, aren't we hearing? Don't we hear this all the time from the Dawa people?
Mm-hmm.
When I speak about religion, Christians will often insult Islam, but Muslims almost never insult Christianity.
What planet does this guy live on? Hey Jake, come hang out with me for like 5 minutes. How about all day, every day? Now, think about what he actually means here. He means, here I am calling for the annihilation of Israel and stuff like this, and Muslims are praising me, and Christians are criticizing me. So let me toss out this stupid insult that's completely moronic.
Yeah. Well. Let's see. Islam also loves Jesus, just believes he is a prophet, not a god. This is just random stuff that you hear from Dawa, that you hear from Muslims.
Yeah,
Repeated.
and that's the reason is, I mean, it could be whoever's writing his paycheck. You know what I mean? Like if he's getting paid to say stuff, it'd be like, okay, here are the things you have to say on Twitter for the next month, and here's your check, since all you care about is getting paid. But it could just be like Dawa guys who are trying to do Dawa towards him because they view him as an ally, and they know that what a great Muslim. It would be Andrew Tate, the human trafficker and rapist, and Sneeko and Jake Shields, who could stop their combined powerful Dawa.
Alhamdulillah, look at this, beautiful. To me, I think it's just very simple. He just reads whatever Muslims write in his comment section, and then he repeats them after a while. I think that's all that's happening here.
Yeah,
it's quite simple.
Yeah, and that's the real problem. You get these guys, and You get some degree of influence because you're an MMA fighter. You get a bigger degree of influence when you start, spouting Jewish conspiracy theories, and then you get people paying it. So people are paying attention to you, and then you start spouting complete nonsense. Oh, boy, Islam loves Jesus. Really, by portraying him as the biggest failure in the history of the prophets. Ask him. Say, hey, Jake Shields, tell us what Jesus actually accomplished according to Islam.
Well,
all Jesus actually got right was predicting the coming of Muhammad, but even that, he did such a horrible job in it that no Christian got the message. Other than that, by the time Jesus was done, there were only two kinds of people. There were people who are rejecting him. They concluded that he's a false prophet, and so they're going to hell, according to Islam. And there were the people who accepted him, but they came to believe that he's the Lord who died on the cross and rose from the dead. And they're all going to hell. So the result of all Jesus' work is that everyone's going to hell.
Alhamdulillah.
Powerful prophet.
Oh, here, by the way, look at this. This was a long time ago. This was in July. Here's Jake Shields saying Andrew Tate is accused of getting girls to fall in love with him and then work for and give him half their money.
Hey, wait. Why is he being accused of that? Because he said it like 9 trillion times in interviews. Okay.
How is this different than what a beautiful girl makes a rich man fall in love with her, then buy her stuff, and in many cases take half? Andrew was also making the girls money. Then community notice here, Andrew Tate has been charged with rape, forming an organized crime group, and human trafficking by luring women through fraud and coercing them to engage in online sex work. The accusations fit the UN definition of human trafficking.
Yes. So, Jake Shields, you're right. You can have a beautiful girl who gets a rich man to fall in love with her and buy her stuff. And then, they don't sign a prenup, so she leaves him and takes half the money. Guess what? You could have a guy do the exact same thing. So you could have a rich widow, like a 40-year-old rich widow, and a 25-year-old young stud working on their caravans for her. And she could propose marriage to him because he's so hot, and he could, take all her money. That's true. But no, seriously. A man could do the exact same thing. You could have a rich widow and some young boy toy, and they get married, but he's just scheming her to get money. That wouldn't be human trafficking. That's not human trafficking. That's not what that is. And that's not the lover boy or lover girl. That's not the same. That's not the same thing. It's when you are using someone convincing someone to fall in love with you for purposes of manipulating them into sex work. And yes, if a woman did that, if some woman said, hey, I'm going to get this guy to fall in love with me, but actually I just want him working on my, my porn site, stuff like that. And she does this, and she's doing it to lots of guys. And she's got all these guys that she gets to fall in love with her, to go out working for her and doing porn or being prostitutes or something. That would be human trafficking. Just as far as reality is concerned, it's normally guys doing it to girls. But yeah, wow. So anyway, there's a big difference, Jake Shields, and any idiot can see it, except you.
Alhamdulillah. Here's something funny to see. I love it. I love seeing Islamists like Kikachu corrected by community notes. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he basically tweeted, they celebrated 9/11 with their foreign agents in New York, recording the events with cameras and dancing in joy while they occurred. Google dancing Israelis. This is like one of the simplest conspiracy theories that you can come up with in regards of 9/11. And here is a community note down here. The conspiracy theory of Israeli agents dancing on 9/11 has been thoroughly refuted. It refers to 5 workers from Israel who were not dancing and had no connection to the attacks. Multiple links, including from anti-Israel sources. And of course, Daniel will be like, oh, you see, community notes are Zionists. They control the Jews control the community notes.
And we still find it weird that someone could post something that's so easy to refute. But this goes back to that ongoing problem of when you get a bunch of gullible followers who will cheer for you, no matter how obviously false what you're saying is, so that you can say, Rebecca was 3, and the Catholic Encyclopedia says Mary was 12 and Joseph was 90. And it doesn't, no one cares. None of your followers care even slightly that you're making things up. And anyone can expose the lie just by taking 30 seconds to look up what you're saying. When you get programmed like that, hey, it doesn't matter what I say. I can say anything and they'll agree with me. It's the same problem Andrew Tate has. It's the same problem. Same problem all the Dawa guys have. But the result is that they will just post anything. There's no accountability. There's no concern for honesty or integrity. They don't have to. Their followers will support them no matter what.
Yeah, and that's how it is. That's the way the world rolls. Islam loves Jesus. Sure, yeah, sure, bro, it does. This is why Islam is the world's fastest growing religion. Apparently, because kids are stomping on the pride flag and their mothers are cheering them on. Yes, apparently this is why. Okay. No, it's not because of the birth rates. Nope. Islam was never a serious threat to the West. It was an enemy created by the CIA and FBI to keep the military-industrial complex alive. None of this, if you read it plainly, makes any sense. The CIA even trained Osama bin Laden and armed ISIS. Now, it's like at some point people don't even bother writing community notes anymore, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, David.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I mean, because this is why this will make sense to certain morons. So people will look up, oh, did the U.S. work with Osama bin Laden? Yeah, when they viewed these guys as friends and allies against communism. Yes. You had U.S. leaders who made the dumb mistake of thinking, hey, because the Soviet Union is surrounded in certain areas by Islamic nations, and so hey, guess what? It didn't matter what nation you were. If you're around the Soviet Union and U.S. could make you an ally, they wanted to make you an ally. And when the Soviet Union wanted to take over Afghanistan, yep, U.S. did not want them expand. It's the same, guys. It's the same reason there was a fight in Korea. It's the same reason there's a fight in Vietnam. People didn't like the spread of communism because it was spreading very rapidly. It was going to take over the world. So yes, they worked with Muslims. But what's the actual conspiracy theory here? That the CIA is working with bin Laden to make a fake threat against the U.S. to keep the military industrial complex alive. That's what's doing it all. So it's not the actual jihadis calling to subjugate the world and so on. Following this reasoning, what should we think about Muhammad Hijab and Daniel Hakikachu and Ali Dawa and Sheikh Uthman? What if Jake Shields is correct that Islam doesn't actually teach these things? Islam is not an actual threat. What should we think about the guys who are running around saying Islam is going to take over the world and you need Sharia, we need Sharia? We should view all of them as CIA and FBI agents, according to Jake Shields.
Alhamdulillah. That's beautiful. Powerfully spoken.
It is
powerfully. I will bring up this here. This just totally speaks for itself. But I look at this here. Just look at it. Just have a look at it. The top one says, it's from November 16th. It says 9/11 was one of the biggest events to happen in my lifetime. 99% of Americans didn't even bother to read Osama bin Laden's 2-page letter on why he attacked. We just repeated what we were told instead of simply reading his own words. Nowhere does he mention hating us and so on. A few weeks later, he tweets, what evidence did the U.S. government show that Osama bin Laden attacked America? We went from having no idea who did 9/11 to positive it was him within days. He denied any involvement and was living in a cage. Now, this is so ridiculously insane that looking at this, you could think, wait a minute, okay, it can't be that the same person is writing all of these tweets. Because here in this tweet here, he acknowledges that Osama bin Laden did the 9/11 attack, and you can read his his letter to find out in his own words why he did it. He was misrepresented. And here, just a few weeks later, he's like, "There's no evidence that he did it. This is America. This is American propaganda. We don't know that he did it. He actually denied it." Dude, are you insane?
Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty dumb. And dopes like Jake won't even understand the real purpose of Osama's letter. Notice the letter. It's oh, look, the United States, you did this, and Western nations, you did this, and you did that, and you did this, and this is why we attack you. These guys don't understand that, according to the thinking of many people, including groups, organizations like Al Qaeda, you can only have a call for offensive jihad if you have an Islamic State and a caliph. So you have to actually have an Islamic empire with a legitimate caliph who can call for offensive jihad. So the final stage of jihad, taking over the world. But these same people believe that you can, even without a caliph, wage defensive jihad. You can wage defensive jihad. You don't need a caliph for that. You don't need an Islamic State for that. You could do that anywhere. So they are careful to whenever they are launching an attack on someone, they are careful to show, guys, this is defensive. This is defensive jihad, because if you wage offensive jihad, your leaders would conclude that you can't do that. You're not supposed to be doing that. You are usurping the authority that should rightly belong to a caliph. You can't do that. And so whenever someone is launching an attack that looks offensive, they had to carefully explain, no, this is defensive. We are just fighting defensively here. And that's the purpose of the letter. And so you get dumb Westerners reading it going, "Oh, look, they're just mad about all the stuff the West is doing. They're right. See, they're just freedom fighters." Morons. Blowing up the World Trade Center.
Powerful stuff. But they didn't want to hurt anybody, by the way. They just
no.
Yeah. And
it was the Jews. Wait,
the Jews.
Wasn't it? I thought it was the Jews.
No, the Jews. Something. I don't know. But the thing is, I mean, you say Islam was never a serious threat to the West, and it just makes me think of history and makes me think, are you insane, man?
Pretty insane.
It was the force that the entire West united and fought for centuries.
And I mean, they had Spain and were up into France in the West, and they were in the East, and they were all along the South. And there was a couple of key battles right now. And then after they lost the physical invasion, they started sending in Muslim scholars who had information that was available in the Middle East, and the new universities of Europe wanted to get people with this information, so they bring them in. And it was actually Thomas Aquinas who started using Aristotle to refute them. And that was my first philosophy professor. He was when we got to
But Thomas Aquinas,
when we got to
professor.
No, this guy's name was Professor Johnson. But we got to Thomas Aquinas, and he says, "Guys, know who Thomas Aquinas is? You should, since he's the reason you're not all Muslim." And he was pointing out that the Muslim scholars were becoming so popular, they were using information, and they had become the authorities on Aristotle, so they're invited in to share information about Aristotle, but they were completely misrepresenting Aristotle to twist that. Imagine that, completely misusing what they were reading in order to deceive people and to make Islam more acceptable. And Aquinas, who Professor Johnson said knew Aristotle better than anyone before or since, probably including Aristotle himself, used Aristotle, which they were bringing in to show that they were actually lying and that they weren't trusted anymore.
Yeah, that's perfect. But I don't know if I believe you, because Muslims would never misinterpret anything. Israeli government. If Muslims build tunnels under mosques, if Christians build tunnels under churches, we would ask questions. If Jews build tunnels under synagogues, you are an anti-Semitic Nazi if you have questions. He also, of course, immediately picked up the whole conspiracy theory that there are Jewish tunnels built in New York City, under New York City, to traffic children, possibly, and things like that. From a minor news several weeks ago of a dispute and an attempt by Jewish students to expand their center and reach the temple. That was turned into a whole story of Jews building tunnels to kidnap children and do whatever with them. which is
Yeah,
just,
I mean, think about it. If it wouldn't matter if it's Muslims or Christians or Jews, if you find out they're digging tunnels underneath their place of worship, you would wonder why. So what would you do? You'd ask, hey, what are you doing this? So imagine some Muslims are caught building tunnels under a mosque in New York City. You'd say, hey, what are you guys doing? And suppose they said, well, we're worried about being attacked. We're worried about being attacked. We're worried about, people showing up to our mosque and attacking us. So we want a tunnel where we can run and hide if we need to. You'd say, okay, well, you need permit for that kind of thing, but okay, I understand. And same thing with Christians, and same thing with Jews. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing there? Do you have some sort of explanation? Is it sex trafficking? So, to be clear, I wouldn't. If Muslims were building tunnels, I would not jump to the conclusion that it's for trafficking, even though these are the guys who are openly defending child trafficking left and right on the internet. I would probably want to ask them, hey, why are you guys doing that? Same with Christians, same with Jews. No inconsistency here, Jake.
this is so funny. Irish Rip Up 84 says you can't even bring up shit about Jews. It seems like weird. We are literally reading a bunch of stuff where people bring up all kinds of random things about Jews.
Yeah, what do you mean you can't? It's everywhere. I can't go on Twitter for 5 seconds without seeing stuff about Jews. Oh, why can't you talk about them? What planet do you live on?
Jews are controlling the world and sacrificing all children in underground tunnels, and we can't even talk about it. Are you stupid?
That comment reminds me of Jake Shields. Muslims never criticize Christianity. It never happens. Like, where are you? Where are you guys living?
Oh my God. It becomes a problem when, and that is what this article is about, by the way. When you take, when you say, "Oh, I'm only asking questions. I'm only trying to talk about Jews," and then you turn complete non-issues into some insane conspiracy theories that are completely baseless, and you do that over and over again just with Jews, and that is then accompanied with all kinds of cartoons about how Jews are sacrificing children and drinking blood and controlling the world, and they are responsible for your missing socks. Where you can't find your socks in the morning, it's because the Jews are controlling it, and they steal your socks at night. And when you make all kinds of dumb things about Jews, and whenever you are asked for proof or for evidence, you have nothing to offer, it seems like you have a problem with the Jews, right? It doesn't seem like you are actually just asking questions. And that is what people are pointing out then. And if also you, at the same time, while doing that, you begin praising Hitler or making excuses for the Holocaust or saying, oh, I don't think that many people actually died, then I'm sorry, you are just a neo-Nazi. You are just a neo-Nazi. You are a Jew-hating, Hitler-loving neo-Nazi. And you shouldn't be afraid of that. You shouldn't be afraid of being called out on that. Because if you have that much hate and you want to talk that much trash without backing it up in any way, then is this really your biggest problem? Your biggest problem is being called a neo-Nazi for the dumb stuff that you talk about? Be a man.
Hey, quick question about your thumbnail here.
Yes.
Your dumb thumbnail says Jake Shields backs out of debate. He's got a picture of you there and a picture of him. How did you not put your face over like an MMA fighter and maybe someone who's beating his face in or something like that, or just have you guys listed as MMA fighters and then say Jake Shields backs out of fight?
Huh. I could have done that.
Or just Jake Shields backs down from Apostate Prophet.
I could say Apostate Prophet beats up Jake Shields. or something like that. I don't know.
Humiliates. Why is Jake Shields running from facing the Apostate Prophet?
He's scared. Scared. I always thought so many crazy things, like they turned Jews into soap and lampshades. They also made it sound like Hitler was trying to take over the world, yet England and France declared war on Germany. Oh my God. Clearly, I need to
Wait, what?
research, but it's clearly you need to research it. Clearly, you need to start reading something. Clearly, you need to read a book. Clearly, you need to read a book, right? Read something about history.
Go up, go up. I think it said this article says that. Where was that? Oh, there we go. This thread claims that the founder of Hitler's SS unit was Jewish.
It sounds ridiculous, but I checked and it's true. This is what I was reading earlier. This is you missed that. And then he links to that neo-Nazi Twitter account, and he's like, I'm not saying anything. Like, this is the kind of people that where's that guy earlier in the chat? Irish Repub. Yeah.
You can't say anything about Jews.
He would probably tweet this kind of stuff and then link to an actual neo-Nazi account and say, why are you calling him a neo-Nazi just because you don't like it? I'm sorry.
Look,
Here,
why even want to debate a jock? Because when he's posting stuff, that is not being a jock. That is being an influencer. He's making claims, many of them stupid. So what should you, if someone's making stupid claims and misleading people, what should you do? You say, hey, you're saying a bunch of things. You think they're true. I think they're false. Why don't we get together so that people actually hear both sides of the story? Why would anyone object to that? I mean, think about what that dude just said. He's saying, if you are an athlete and you spout complete nonsense to millions of people, you get a free pass on anything, no matter how idiotic that you say, no matter what it is. You can say that about anyone. If a musician is saying things that are completely false, you have no business correcting them because they're from a musician. And that's like insane. What's up?
David, you can't even say Sieg Heil nowadays without being called a neo-Nazi.
Stopped.
Yeah, you can't even say this without being called a neo-Nazi. You can't even say we are already rising, brother. We are back, referring to the Nazis, and then be called a neo-Nazi. See, you can't even do this. It's so sad. Stupid morons. It's like the dumbest people in society are really going this path. It is like there are so many conclusions that you can come to by researching or thinking about current events, thinking about recent history, studying sociology. You could come to many, many different conclusions. Probably the simplest thing, if you are lazy, if you want to blame somebody else, if you have nothing in your brain, the easiest thing to come to would be like, it must be Jews. Jews are controlling the world. Jews, they are the bad ones. They are the reason why things don't go right for me. They are the reason why I'm a loser. It's the Jews. It's all their fault. And we will rise again and we will make them suffer. This is the dumbest thing that you can come to. The easiest conclusion, the stupidest, the dumbest conclusion. And you can usually justify that without reading a single thing. Like, you don't have to read a single book. You don't have to listen to a single piece of evidence. You don't have to do anything. You can just make this claim and be completely like low IQ. You can have an IQ of 60 and be a famous neo-Nazi who hates Jews. You can be completely retarded and be a very successful neo-Nazi and Jew hater and make amazing posts on Twitter and get lots of likes from like-minded fellow neo-Nazis. It's the best thing to do if you are completely stupid and you want to blame somebody else for your stupidity. That's literally what you can do. And if you debate with anybody who knows anything, you will totally lose it. You will lose, which is why these neo-Nazis are always afraid of the debates.
And this actually ties into a lot of other stuff that's going on. There's something called, in psychology, it's called the locus of control. And that is how you view where you see the responsibility for your situation. So is it there's an internal locus of control and external locus of control. So in reality, whatever your situation in life is, it's a mixture of things you're responsible for and things that are beyond your control. So outside influences and so on. So the question is, whatever your situation is, economic, relationship, whatever it is, whatever your situation is, what's primarily responsible for that? Where does responsibility lie primarily? Yes, it's a mixture of factors, but which side is more heavily weighted for you? If you believe that your situation is primarily the result of external factors, things that are beyond your control, you have an external locus of control. If you believe that you're primarily responsible for your situation, then you have an internal locus of control. And for some reason, people always think, politicians and everyone, they think that you're better off with an external locus of control so that you don't feel bad, right? Like, oh, if I tell you, hey, you're poor and it's not your fault, they think that's better psychologically for you. So, oh, okay, it's not my fault. When in reality, you're better off having an internal locus of control. You're better off thinking, gosh, if I'm broke, I need to work harder, and because then having an internal locus of control makes you more likely to actually make changes. If you think I'm a victim of outward circumstances, okay, you're a victim. What can you do? There's too much against you. If you think actually I'm primarily responsible for whatever happens, and therefore I bear responsibility, you're much more likely to make the efforts and so on. So anyway, politicians and manipulators tend to try to, whether they're intending it or not, this is what they do. They want everyone to have an external locus of control. You want everyone to believe that whatever's going to happen to them is primarily the responsibility of outside factors. And then the politician can say, well, I'm the one who can fix those outside factors for you, and therefore you'll be okay after that once I fix these things. It makes you dependent on external forces so that you then vote for people who are going to deal with that. And so same thing with a manipulator, a manipulative man who is manipulating his girlfriend and controlling her. He wants her to view things like her happiness as dependent on him. And because that allows him to completely control her. Anyway, long story short, when you get an entire population that has an external locus of control, hey, whenever something bad happens, it's not my fault. It's the fault of someone else. Then it just becomes very easy for anything bad happens. Oh, it's the fault of that group, or it's the fault of that group. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your group's fault. It's none of that. It's external forces. And that's when everyone just starts blaming everything on everyone else and blaming people on conspiracy theories and so on. And why this fits so well with Islam is Islam can't acknowledge that the problems in Islam are because of Islam. It can't acknowledge that. So it has to blame outside forces. It has to. And what do we see in Islam? It's always the Jews' fault. It's always the West's fault. Why do things, ask Daniel Hakikachu, why do things suck so bad in the Muslim world that you don't want to go near a Muslim country? You want to live in the United States? And why do Muslims from every Muslim country want to get to Western nations? Oh, because Western nations have oppressed us. We haven't been able to stop it and so on. Notice we are not responsible. The entire Ummah, 2 billion people, almost a third of the world's population are not responsible for how things are going. It's external factors. It's all conspiracies and so on. And so, guys, the point I'm trying to make is, as time goes on, everyone's leaning more into having an external locus of control. So everything is someone else's fault. It's not your fault. You have no responsibility. It's everything outside of you. And this is an environment and a population that is absolutely ripe for people to come in here and say, you're right, it's not your fault. It's the Jews. The Jews are doing this to you. Therefore, the Jews, you have to get them.
All of this sounds like a bunch of Jewish propaganda.
Yes.
And we all know that philosophy is Jewish and psychology is Jewish. And you're talking about
Freud was Jewish.
These Jewish things.
He's an atheist, but he loved the Talmud.
Yeah. Also, Aristotle was also a Jew, and Socrates, and Plato, and they were all Jewish Palestinians and Greeks. Yeah, yeah. The Greek were actually Jews. They killed him. And by the way, yeah, here's another issue, which is so he says this thread claims that the founder of Hitler's SS unit was Jewish. It's done it too ridiculous to be true, but I checked and it is. First off, I just want to ask one question here, and I'm sure if I asked this question to Jake, I would not get an answer. How exactly did you check? Where exactly did you check? How exactly did you confirm that the SS founder was actually Jewish? And can you show us? Can you give us this piece of evidence or the proof that this is true? Because as far as it seems, this is complete nonsense. The SS was founded or first led by Heinrich Himmler. After the prior unit was founded by Hitler himself with his main guys. So
Founded by Heinrich Goldberg. Later Jews just rewrote the history so that it was Himmler, not Goldberg.
I guess according to this logic here, the Hitler himself was apparently Jewish. I guess. But,
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
And think about it. Suppose because you had even in the death camps, you had Jews who worked with the Nazis, right? You had Jews who worked with the Nazis for special privileges. You get special privileges if you were on the side of the Nazis, even though you're doing stuff to your fellow Jews. So you can always point to Jews who played a role and so on. But I mean, think about the reasoning there. I mean, what do you do when Hitler is actually meeting with the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem? And so, no, there's not a time to think about conspiracies. It's, but wait, I mean, according to Jake, Hitler's been horribly misrepresented. So maybe that was maybe, I don't know. Maybe these are all the good guys, right, Jake?
Yeah. All
the people who are working on the extermination of Jews, they were actually misunderstood. It was Jews who were working on the extermination of Jews.
Yeah, his name was actually Heinrich Shlomi.
Yeah.
Heinrich Shlomi.
He was a rabbi. He loved the Talmud. The Talmud.
Somebody said I don't think it was Himmler. Well, okay. As far as Hitler himself founded a group that precedes the SS, which was called I don't remember exactly, but it's like the Stoß something. It was a small group.
Oh,
but in 1925, it was then where Himmler joins. He is considered the first actual leader of the SS, so he would be the founder. But it's actually the founder of the original group would be Adolf Hitler and his people themselves.
What'd you say, Schoss? What'd you say, Schoss? What are you talking about?
No, it's there was a preceding group before the SS. It was called Stoß something. I don't know what it was called.
SS is called Schutzstaffel.
No, I know that, but before that there was
Schutzstaffel.
Before that there was another group which was called.
He just got a super chat. Someone said before it was Germany, it was called Jew-many.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's called the Stoßtrupp Hitler. That was the first group that was actually in existence before the SS was founded. That was a small
the Stoßtrupp.
Stoßtrupp. All right.
Lily von Stoßtrupp.
Stoßtrupp. And I learned this all as a former fan of German
Hitler speeches.
Yeah. Texas. Do you support Texas? Here's a great thread showing how Israel regularly abuses Palestinians long before October 7th.
It abuses Palestinians?
It abuses Palestinians.
There's multiple Palestinians.
Yeah, all the Palestinians.
So I guess he's talking about West Bank and Gaza. Multiple Palestinians.
All of them.
From the river to the sea, all the Palestinians will be free.
What else? Oh, I sent him a message here. Hello, Tim Pool is willing to host a debate between us. I was still waiting. Wait a minute, this guy's...
Did you put a yawn on there?
Yeah. 610,000. Interesting. What else is there? Oh, this has nothing to do with Jake Shields. This is one of these typical... This is like that Irish repub in the chat. You once said that I'm a Nazi. You are delusional. I'll say it again. How am I a Nazi? Explain how, you Jew.
How am I a Nazi? Explain how, you Jew, whom I would love to put in a death camp because you're a Jew. It's funny.
Man, and so on. I don't know. This guy's
wit-
just insane.
Yep, a lot of winners on Twitter now.
A lot of winners on Twitter. Lots of them try to become a Jew. Racial policy, Jew. Jews. The Jews. I'm a Jew, so I don't appreciate your anti-Semitism. Now he's mocking these things. Pay trip to Israel. Anyone who doesn't agree with me hates Jews. 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 This man is indigenous to Palestine. If you doubt this, you're a Jew-hating Nazi. He's making fun of somebody's look, implying that he clearly doesn't look like he's from the region. Have you ever seen Ryan Gosling?
Are you serious? What's your obsession with Ryan Gosling? The things you're obsessed with: Hitler's speeches and Ryan Gosling. This number 1 and number 2 there.
Of course, like look at Ryan Gosling here. Like does Ryan Gosling look like he belongs to this region according to Jake's logic? Here's Ryan Gosling. Here's Ryan Gosling. This guy was the leader of the Arab Palestinians in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s and 50s. Does he look like he's from the region by Jake's logic here? Huh? This is literally Ryan Gosling. So
Hey, look up Muhammad's grandson, Muhammad al-Yaqubi.
is that a ginger one?
He looked like he's from Arabia, according to our good friend Jake.
Oh yeah, this guy. Okay, this guy here.
There he is. That's Muhammad al-Yaqubi. Looks like Opie Taylor and Osama bin Laden got together and had a offspring.
That's funny.
So notice what would he looks exactly like what we expect from Muhammad in the Muslim sources, right? Talking about how white he is. This dude is whiter than I am. And so according to Jake, this guy's a total fake, and so is Muhammad. They don't belong there.
Yeah.
They're European.
Sir Dr. Whitemeat said AP is mad Barbie didn't win. Wait, are the Oscars actually is that
Did
over?
they happen already?
I never followed.
I didn't even hear about them. I normally at least hear that they're happening though.
No, it's not. It didn't happen. It's just the nominations that happened. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? I think so. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not till March 10th. What's this person lying about?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it could be talking about like Golden Globes or anything else.
No, it
So
might
you
be
have
talking about the nominations because in the nominations, I think
Barbie did get some nominations.
Barbie only got one nomination or two or something. The main actress, Margot Robbie, she wasn't nominated, and people were very mad about that. And only Ryan Gosling actually got nominated. So
nice.
Mufti Amin al-Husseini got nominated.
Because he's the Mufti. You see. Wait, you see? You put all the connections together, right? Hollywood is controlled by Jews. Jews are trying to promote Nazism, according to the conspiracy theory that Jake was sharing. And therefore, what would they do? They would get Ryan Gosling in there. Why? Because he was the Mufti of Jerusalem, or at least his grandson or something. See, the point is, you can make a conspiracy theory out of anything, ladies and gentlemen. It's really easy. Doesn't take a lot of brain cells.
Hetero Frog said, I feel sometimes like AP is one of the three wise men reincarnated. I'm actually all three of them together.
Don't say three.
Don't say three. Clementine said Barbie sucked. How dare you? How dare you? I watched the Barbie movie and I loved it. Yes, I did. I watched the Barbie movie and I loved it.
I'm probably going to see Oppenheimer at some point, but yeah, I'm not sure I'll ever see Barbie. I don't know what the odds of that are.
I actually did watch Barbie, and I thought at the end of it, I thought, wow, man, people are really making a fuss over nothing. This is amazing. Because people were complaining about its messaging and stuff. It was actually a very, very balanced messaging in terms of trying to send a message. So that's funny. Oppenheimer, I actually watched Oppenheimer recently, a few weeks ago, for the first time. And it's a bit too long. And it's the first
Just watch it at 1.25 speed.
No, it's the first Christopher Nolan movie that I actually liked, I think. All the others are trash.
You didn't like The Dark Knight?
I never watched it.
Okay, then so you're ignorant. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I watched all the other, like, what is it, Inception, which is just
Yeah, I didn't like
stupid.
that very much either. I don't know why.
Well, and then everyone's favorite movie, what's it called? That dumb movie, that dumb fantasy sci-fi space movie. What's it called again?
Don't know.
I don't know. Whatever. The dumbest movie I've seen in my life. Like, I watched that whole thing, and in the end, I was like, "What the hell? What is this, man? How is this even popular?" Anyway,
I have
no
to look
time-
up Christopher Nolan movies to see.
yeah,
what
it's
the
all
good ones
gone.
are.
Oh yeah, Interstellar.
Yeah, I never saw that one either.
I sat through the whole thing, and the entire time I just thought, okay, where is this going? And then it turns into a Harry Potter-esque fantasy garbage nonsense story, instead of creating something nice. And I just thought, wow, I wasted 3 hours of my life. I will never get it back. And yeah. Anyway, bunch of movies that pretend to be very smart, but that are like beyond stupid.
He did Batman Begins and Dark Knight. Those are both good. So you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm probably making people mad because people love those movies.
Memento was kind of interesting. Man of Steel, yeah, didn't quite work. It was okay, but he tried to do the same thing that he did in The Dark Knight. We're going to turn this in a darker direction, and then you get stupid people say, "Oh, it worked here. Let's do the same thing with Superman." Those are different kind of characters. Batman makes sense to go in a really dark direction. Superman's supposed to be, uplifting and happy and stuff. But that's all. Dunkirk, I didn't watch. Looks like the kind of movie I would watch.
I watched Dunkirk, and I thought when it was over, wow, this is the first movie about one of the world wars that I actually felt extremely bored and completely empty
Oh, really?
watching. Yeah.
Darn. I don't even know if I can watch it then. Oh, wait, that was the one that had the same dude that played Bane, Tom Hardy, right? And he's flying a plane. Yeah. I had the same reaction. I was like, this seems overrated to me.
It's like, I don't know, the guy's movies, it's like he's trying so hard to just, instead of substance, like make it artistic. And it's like, oh God, can you please just stop it and get on with it? Like,
yeah, there was. So yeah, when I saw Dunkirk, I was like, oh, that's that movie I wanted to watch and haven't watched yet, but it wasn't. I did watch that and completely forgot about it because it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. The movie I was thinking it was I don't know if it's called it's a World War I movie where it's the entire movie is this guy running and it's like one long tracking sequence. Something 2019 anyone know what I'm talking about? War movie. And apparently it's this guy just who has a job to run somewhere to get something done. And they make basically one giant tracking sequence, which is one of my favorite kinds of things to do. So that's what I was thinking of. And that's something I'm going to watch. But yeah, Dunkirk, not impressed. Don't watch it.
Probably only you watched the movie. Nobody else did. Probably. 1917. That's the movie.
Is that it?
Probably.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
I was a big fan of Stanley Kubrick movies. They were actually...
What kind of dummies make a movie called 1917 and put it out in 2019 instead of in 2017 right on the day of the 100th anniversary? The 100th anniversary. How do you not do that? Well, let's wait an extra 2 years because we're morons. Gosh, why are people stupid?
I feel like Christopher Nolan tries very hard to be Stanley Kubrick, but then doesn't know how to do it, and that's just very disgusting. Anyway, yes,
that was one heck of a detour. You mentioned some movie, and then we just go off.
Yeah. It's true. I feel very strongly about that. When somebody is like, "Whoa, this movie is one of the best movies ever," like, shut up. Shut up.
Hey, I got a movie idea. It's about an MMA fighter.
Yes.
It's about an MMA fighter who's not nearly as smart as he thinks, but he thinks because he's popular that it also means that he's smart. And so he keeps posting all this dumb stuff, and a bunch of morons keep liking everything that he posts. And so he thinks it convinces him that he's smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. And yet he's a complete idiot. And anyone who knows about anything actually knows that he's a complete idiot. Anyway, then one day he gets challenged to a debate and he has to think, hey, can I really defend any of this? And then he backs down like a coward. Fade to black. Credits roll.
That's
a D Wood picture.
That's
written,
nice.
Written and directed by D Wood.
That's nice.
Hey, Jake Shields, you could play the MMA fighter in that if you want.
I don't know if you want to do that.
Based on a true story.
Clementine's who was at fault for this whole diversion into movies? Was that you, Clementine, or was that Surgical Whitemeat?
It was my darling Clementine and Sir Whitemeat.
It was one of you two. I don't know who that was, but
oh yeah, so Whitemeat is obsessed with the Barbie movie.
Oh,
he's obsessed with the Barbie movie.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I love the Barbie movie.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world made of plastic. It's fantastic.
This guy also tweeted, by the way, something very interesting, which was he deleted that tweet later. Maybe I should have saved that, but it went something like, I'm beginning to think we would be better off if the mustache guy had won.
Oh yeah, I recall that.
That's what he tweeted.
Yeah, does anyone not realize how messed up that is?
Yeah.
It's like the guy who wanted to completely exterminate Jews. This is Jake Shields saying we would have been better off. We may have been better off if that guy actually won.
It wasn't even just Jews. I mean, let's say you are a complete let's say you hate Jews, right? And which is why you don't have any problem with somebody who also hates Jews and who even wants to exterminate them. It wasn't even just about Jews.
Yeah, he killed millions of other people too. I mean, like actually taking them to the death camps and so on.
He had an actual plan in development to create a new world with eugenics where people will be by their genetics arranged, exterminated, or preserved and created in order to create a superior Aryan race that will rule the world above all, and things like it was completely insane. Here, I'm thinking that would be better off had Mustache Guy won. He later deleted this tweet. You can't find this anymore. He deleted this tweet. But yeah, this is actually Jake here saying, I'm thinking we would have been better off with Hitler winning. And you know, when stuff like this is out there, this is why when somebody says, "Oh, we can't even ask questions without being called a neo-Nazi," shut up, man. Shut up. You are a neo-Nazi. That is why people are calling you a neo-Nazi. Oh, Hitler! I'm beginning to think Hitler was a good guy. Why are you calling me a neo-Nazi? I can't even ask questions. Can't even make comments. I don't even have anything against Jews. I'm just saying that Jews probably don't deserve to live. But don't call me a neo-Nazi. That makes me so sad. I hope you get put in concentration camps and killed. I'm so persecuted. I can't even talk right now. I hope you all get genocided. Man.
Yeah, so Jews, Slavs, Poles, Ukrainians, Soviet Slavs, some Romanians.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone who was inferior to his group was fair game, but a special hatred. There's a special hatred for Jews.
Disabled people too. Did you mention that? There was an actual policy.
Oh yeah. Gays, disabled people, mentally disabled. They would actually. I talked about this in a video from last year, but it's a book, The White Rose, Die Weiße Rose, as AP and Hitler would say. But yeah, they actually talked about this because this is Inga Scholl, who's writing about. I mean, she was there. This was her experience back then. But she said, yeah, the Nazis would show up to the places where nuns would take care of mentally disabled or physically disabled children, and they had portable gas chambers. They called them Gaswagens, and they would show up and they would tell the nuns, "Hey, give us all the kids," and the nuns knew where they were going, and there's nothing the nuns could do, and so the kids would ask, "Hey, where are we going?" And the nuns would say, "You're going to heaven." Kids would pile into the Gaswagen and then drive away, and they get gassed in the back of the truck, and then you show up and you just have to dump the bodies. But these are the heroes of Jake Shields. And one of the problems with the Gaswagen is they never were able to insulate them sound-wise. And so it was bothering the truck drivers to hear the screams of the kids once they realized they're being gassed. Bothered some people.
There was an actual order in Nazi Germany, which was where we have the document, which is Hitler himself giving the order to collect all people who are incurably ill and give them a mercy death under medical observation and medical authority. Of course, you could read that and think, oh, I guess this must apply to people who are, incurably suffering from a terrible disease. But no, what actually happens is that I think half of those killed were taken from asylums where people with mental illnesses, for example, were gathered and just involuntarily euthanized, because Hitler's idea was that people who have disabilities or have mental disabilities are basically poisoning the gene pool and don't deserve to live, and they don't serve any purpose anyway, are just a burden. So kill them.
Keep in mind, there is a sick logic to it that makes sense, right? So the reasoning is these are all people who, if we didn't have civilization to keep them alive, would not make it in in more of a state of nature. They wouldn't survive, and in other words, humans have screwed up natural selection. Natural selection, things that are defective in some way, mentally or physically, aren't going to make it, and so the things that are reproducing are the ones that are kind of most fit. Then we get a society, and we start taking care of things that aren't as fit, and you end up passing on their problems. Their problems aren't weeded out by natural selection, and so what do you need in order to avoid that problem? Well, you just wipe out everyone who's mentally or physically defective, and then you get only the best people reproducing, and that's your master race.
Yeah. They had more sick plans of actually directly interfering and developing a technology to directly work on the genetics in a medical scientific environment, because that was their ideal. It is just it is messed up. I mean, if you think, or if you suggest that Nazi Germany was just misrepresented, or Hitler was misrepresented, you must be sick or you don't know anything. I don't see any other possibility. It is insane. Solitary Emmy said David Wood will adopt the Israeli baby. Will you too? Yes. What are we talking about? But yeah, yes.
Oh, you didn't see my tweet?
No. What tweet?
Yeah, there was an article in the New York Post saying that in Israel they're having to make decisions about what to do when hostages are returned, in case hostages are returned pregnant. In other words, they're girls, the possibility of girls being raped by their captors. And in Israel, there are laws about when you can get an abortion and so on. So it's like, okay, what if a woman gets returned and she's pregnant and she's past that? What are we going to do in these situations? Anyway, I understand. I understand if a woman doesn't want to have that Hamas baby. I understand that. And so I just tossed it out there. I said, hey, if anyone's in that situation and you don't want to take care of the baby, but you have a problem with the abortion issue, or there's a legal problem with it or whatever, my wife and I would be happy to adopt that baby.
Oh,
And so I put that out there, and then
that's
it was
nice.
funny. It was funny because one person was saying, one person said, "Oh, but." Someone objected. You get that sort of circulated. So I was getting objections for people who don't know me, and someone was like, but what would you do if that baby, because he's the baby of a terrorist, had psychopathic tendencies?" It's like, well, I'm probably the perfect dad for that guy.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Nice. Chloe said, "Where's my favorite Christian doctor, Daddy David?"
I'm right here, Chloe. What the heck? What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
No, just kidding. I know I wasn't here for a little while.
Chloe apparently doesn't even look at the screen. Oh, by the way, yeah, here you can see that the Islamist Nazi alliance is as old as Nazi and Palestinian stuff, and it is still well alive today, because the ideas of the Nazis didn't change much and the ideas of the Palestinians didn't change much. So they will come together and find each other and be like, "Hey, what's up? What's up, man? Long time no see. Let's talk about the Jews and what we want to do to them."
And we can all recall Hitler's dream, his fantasy, his at the top of his dream journal was, hey, if we didn't have Christianity and we either had the beliefs of the Muslims or the Japanese, who both believed that fighting and conquering were good, he believed that the German race was the best, the smartest. They're just genetically the best. And if you combined that with a good ideology, you would basically have no problem taking over the world. He thought Christianity was making them weaker. And what's amazing is Germany right now is bringing in so many Muslims, and Muslims are praising every new convert. Hitler's wish might come true. You could end up with an Islamic Germany. My goodness. He would be so proud of the bang up job German leaders are doing right now.
The funny thing that I mentioned earlier before you came here, because you were unreliably late, or because whatever you were doing, I don't know, like sleeping, whatever you were doing there. What I was talking about earlier before you came was that in Germany, the patriotic right-wing crowds are totally against Islam and against Muslims, whereas in America, for example, you will have people like Jake Shields who claim to be patriotic, and who almost go into the far right neo-Nazi. What am I saying? Almost? He does, and they think it's a very nice idea to be good with the Islamic Muslim perspective, but they are so out of touch with those who actually experience Islam around them, those in Europe who are patriotic, that they don't even know what they're doing. If you went to Germany or to France or to even the UK or other places, and you talked to these self-proclaimed patriots, and you said to them, hey guys, we have so much in common with the Muslims. Islam, don't you guys think that Islam is being vilified for no reason? They would probably beat you up. I don't know. They would think you are insane, that you are clueless, that you are possibly an enemy or two, or something like that. They don't like Islam at all. But in America, of course, you sit down and you think, "Oh, I'm a patriot. I'm a patriot. I believe in preserving our Western values, and also I love Islam." That's just incredibly stupid. It makes no sense at all. Completely out of touch with reality. But yeah, why Hitler wished he was Muslim. The Führer admired Atatürk's subordination of religion to the state, and his ruthless treatment of minorities. It's been our misfortune to have the wrong religion, Hitler complained to his pet architect Albert Speer. Why did it have to be Christianity with its meekness and flabbiness? Islam was a manner religion, a religion of men, and hygienic too. The soldiers of Islam received a warrior's heaven, a real earthly paradise with houris and wine flowing. This, Hitler argued, was much more suited to the Germanic temperament than the Jewish filth and priestly twaddle of Christianity. among the few things that Hitler said about religion.
You see, he loved
What do you-
Christianity.
What do you think about this, David?
You see, why do you accuse bin Laden of being a Muslim when Hitler was a devout Christian?
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to actually read a stupid article that just leaves out the quotes and gives his own interpretation to it. I want to read his actual words. His actual words, to be very specific, where
His actual words were,
it was Hakan Hikmah.
Why can't we have the Hakana Hikmah?
Whatever. His words were, why did it have to be Christianity? Why not Islam or the Japanese religion with its glorification of the martyr and blood and all that? Why did it have to be Christianity? I don't like Christianity. That's what Hitler basically thought of Christianity versus Islam. Yeah, the Nazis always loved Islam until they got it. NNN said live with no David Wood.
Liar.
You're a liar.
Right here in front of you.
You're a liar.
Chloe said, I have magic powers. I summoned Dr. Daddy David.
Powerful.
That's interesting. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Giovanni Garcia said, here, I'll fill in for David and notice.
Someone blocked Giovanni Garcia for making fun of the fact that I say notice. Notice this Giovanni Garcia. Always spouting stupid stuff.
Notice if you took a shot whenever David said notice, you would be dead.
David says the too.
Yeah, notice. Johanna Buchhammer said, we've got a huge problem in Sweden with Islamists. The groundwork was cemented in the 1970s by our left-leaning politicians, and it's been slowly eroding our justice system and country ever since.
You think?
You have to blame it on the Jews, though. It's like,
Yeah, the Jews.
this makes no sense without blaming it on the Jews somehow. That's what you get from the neo-Nazis. So there's that. Jack Ray said, we know the true late guy of the dynamic duo. We now know. I know. It's David Wood. It's David Wood.
It is.
Ayatollah Khamenei said, well, look who's late. My schedule sounds like stuttering to me, but that's none of my business.
I accept responsibility this one time.
Yeah, this one time. Yeah. Every time it's this one time. Jesse said, Islam is what Islam is what it does. What Islam
is what Islam does.
Yeah. At least type it properly if you're going to say something like that. AP, tell Jews more money. They scoffed at my $5 after I was at casino all night laundering it. You see how they disrespect us. Stay away from Islam. Oh yeah, you were the one. You were there earlier when I was live with the Jews, and you said this is from the Jews, and the Jews said can't be Jewish because it's only $5. That makes sense. Makes sense. Snape Reviews says you should bring Brother Nathaniel on stream sometime. Who did? You mean the guy who is famous on Twitter? I don't know. Chloe said, please wish me happy Australia Day. David?
Hey, Chloe, happy Australia Day.
That was weird. I thought David would say Happy Criminals Day or something like that. But
no, I'm just saying. I mean, criminals have holidays too. So I don't know what Australia Day is. It's probably a celebration of the day the first load of prisoners were dumped onto the island because there was no other place in the world to take care of so many prisoners. So they probably celebrate that day. It's like, this is the day all us Australians got here.
Yeah. Wait, what? Who said that?
Oh,
just
look, Brother Nathaniel is best known for his highly anti-Semitic streaming video series.
What?
He refers to the Holocaust as the Hollow Hoax, calls Jews parasitic. Yeah. That's
in the
that's who
world
you
is
want to get
Laura?
on your show, AP. Calls Jews parasitic and has called on readers to save America from Jewish ruin. He maintains a charitable foundation to support his activities.
I never heard of that person.
In
Is that
his words,
really?
in his words, how many Jews does it take to be a Holocaust survivor? All of them, and then some. No matter what age, what parentage, what distance in years from 1945, every Jew jumps on the Holocaust wagon.
That is such a dumb thing to say, considering that you can find hardly anyone who, like right now, who is an actual direct survivor. You would find people who say my parents or my grandparents were at in the Holocaust, but there are very few people left who are actually considered direct survivors. This is so dumb. Yeah, I never heard of this guy. Don't know who that is. Don't know who that is, and don't want to know. I have heard enough. I have heard enough. Way too much. Yeah. Glory to Australia. Flaky Jakey needs to stop running. I know he's scared.
What's up with all these
Scared.
Jakes being total cowards?
Scared.
You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done.
The Christian and Jews were wrong about Daniel 9:24-27, which was written by Daniel the Kikit Jew, says that an oiled up man will have Mary with a 70-week-old baby. Alhamdulillah. Have a good day.
Powerful dawa.
Okay, thank you. Kikit Jew, Mr. L said Jake is an average fighter. This means he has a fragile ego, and your words hurt him more than typical apologists. The stream must be driving him crazy. I hope so. Vinny the Pooh says, funny how they compare Netanyahu to Hitler and Gaza to Warsaw Ghetto. At the same time, they say Hitler was misunderstood. I know. And they also say stuff like, oh, now you understand why Hitler did what he did. And by the way, I'm only against Zionism.
Yeah, it's weird because, when they say things like, oh, maybe Hitler was good, and then they say, oh, the Jews are like Hitler. Like, make up your mind. So what are you saying? The Jews are good and misunderstood?
It doesn't make any sense. It's just like when they talk about how terrible, how Jews are not even real Jews, and only those who are anti-Zionists are real Jews, and that those who claim to be Jews are actually Polish people and stuff like that. And then they will use those Neturei Carta and Norman Finkelstein, who are also just Ashkenazi Jews. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes any sense. Sankey said, who would last longer in jail, AP, IP, or Mike Winger? I would probably like.
I know. I just want to hear what you're going to say.
I was going to say something morbidly messed up, but I'm not going to say it. I would probably not last very long.
No, the correct answer is Mike Winger, oddly enough. See, AP has a better personality as far as he's going to be less likely to tick people off. IP and Mike Winger would annoy some people, but you would also have Christians that would protect Mike Winger because he's a nerd. Right? You have that. You have some people who you have people in there who will protect nerdy. You have tough Christians who will protect nerdy Christians, put it that way. So there it would be understood. Don't mess with that nerd Christian who's going to church right now, because other guys will bang you up if you mess with him.
No.
AP, an atheist, would not have such protection, and as a former Muslim, he would have a target on his back from Muslims in the prison. So he'd be in trouble.
Jeremy Wong said AP will last the longest. I know that, Jeremy, but we're talking about something different right now. We're talking about prison, not that. So notice said this World War II game doesn't even have Holocaust. It sounded too ridiculous to be true, but I checked and it is. HOI4 doesn't even have camps in it. I'm not saying there is a reason, but it must mean something. This seems like his logic, LOL. I know, that's crazy. Unfortunately, notice nobody knows what you're talking about except me and those very few people who are familiar with Paradox games. But still, this makes me happy. I'm happy that so many people are completely ignorant of what we're talking about. Thank you. Aiton said Jake Shields, CTE is real. Yeah. It is. It is. What is CTE again?
That's that brain issue that they found it with football players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
okay,
that's yeah. Getting hit too much in your head ends up causing lasting damage. I don't know if he actually has that or something, but
That's cute. That's cute. Pretty cute. Aiton said, who was the ruler of this Arab state? King, president, whatever. What type of money did they use? What sort of government did they have? Monarchy, democracy, parliamentary? What was it? I know. What was it?
on a side note, actually, I think I read somewhere that MMA is actually better than regular boxing as far as CTE is concerned, because in MMA you get knocked out. You tend to get knocked out quickly if you're getting knocked out. Whereas in boxing, because of the softer gloves, you actually get punched in your head throughout the entire fight, and so your brain is actually getting shaken around a lot more.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. That makes sense. Powerful stuff. Carson Death said recommended books Palestine, betrayed by Ephraim Karsh, From Time Immemorial by, I can't read at this time of the day, From Time Immemorial by Joan Peters, and The Massacre That Never Was by Eliezer Tauber. I'll make a note of all of it. All of it. John Wilkes Youth. Notice said, AP, have you never thought of it when playing EU4 that when you lose the battle, it's all the Jews' fault for the dice roll and your army having worse moral? I know it is. It is. It is. It is. Although there are not even Jews in the game, because it's that time of the history that it revolves around. Still, it is their fault. Unfortunately, it's always the Jews' fault. Everything is. Yeah, alhamdulillah. Powerful stuff. Shuffles became a YouTube member, but why does Shuffles have a profile picture that is, I believe, supposed to depict Saladin in one of those movies? Is it? I don't know. That's what it looks like from here. It's too small. I can't tell what it is. Rumi said, whenever a Muslim says that Israel Zionists did 9/11 or any other attack, I like to ask them, was Israel also the one terrorizing the Middle East for the past 14 centuries? Of course it was.
Yeah, obviously. That's the theory.
Everything was the Jews except the Big Bang, obviously, because that was an explosion. Chloe L said, that one was Islam. Chloe L said, yes, Musos love Jesus, and they say Mary was 12 graped. Huh. Well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. What's funny is that I know for a fact that Muslims were not upset or sad at all. Lots of them were quite cheerful. Many that I knew on 9/11. Yeah. Not going to say anything else. Ryan Gosling. Thank you, Ryan Gosling. Nice to have you here. Ryan Gosling, who is the grandson of the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, Amin al-Husseini, said, still waiting on Hakika to explain Talmudic tunnels. That was a beautiful moment in the debate. That was a beautiful moment. Where Daniel said that there are Talmudic tunnels, and then he asked me to prove that it's not true. Aitan said, slightly on tangent, but didn't Muhammad behead like 600 Jews? Yes, but it was only because they deserved it, and he did it as collective punishment. That's why. Collective punishment is bad, but it's not bad when Muhammad does it to Jews.
So it's good when Muhammad does it.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Ethan Matthew said gaslighting is Palestinian. That's wrong. It's actually Gaza lighting that's Palestinian.
You should use that and call something Gaza lighting.
I know. I think somebody actually made a. Oh yeah, this guy so very Israeli created this thing that I retweeted a while ago. Let's see, where's the here.
Oh no.
Gaza lightings. Psychological manipulation where one who commits atrocities uses the response to gain sympathy for their actions. Example, Bob kidnapped a baby and then complained when he was arrested. Bob is gaslighting.
Nice.
It's pretty good. Pretty good, isn't it?
Powerful.
Yeah, powerful stuff. Gaslighting. Gaza. Anyone told Jake that MMA fighters are out of fashion? Real men today fart rainbow glitter clouds that smells of daisies. Oh, I didn't know that. That's easy. I should have, if I knew that, I would have gone into that. I'll look into that. Carson Death said, wasn't Mohammed Khadija's boy toy gigolo? Yes,
Correct.
He was. And
We're proud of that.
Sir Dr. Whitemeat said, I heard Jake shielded his virgin leather straps until he met the right goat like a good Muslim. He's on his 5th goat wife because he's a bad boy. Where's your goat, David?
This one?
Yes, that one.
Oh, you laugh at that every single time.
That answers the question. Aiton said, what if Daniel Aqiqa had a tunnel under his house? He probably does. I know for a fact that Daniel Aqiqa builds a tunnel under his house where he also has a big pedophilia ring. It's happening under his house, under his home, as we speak right now. There's a tunnel. And if you think it's not true, where's your proof that this is not true?
Yeah, who wants to prove that Daniel is not trafficking goats in the tunnel under his house? Can anyone prove that to us? No.
Can you prove it? Can you prove it or not? If you can't prove it, then it's true. Chloe said, these guys are my favorite streamers. Which guys? Huh. I'm, of course, referring to David and the Holy Spirit. Oh, hi, AP. I did not hit her. I did not. Thank you, Chloe. I'm going to have to ban you. I'll put you in timeout for that comment. But thank you. I appreciate it. Christopher Ford, if Aisha was 9, then is the death toll in Gaza wrong? Or was she a kid? And Muhammad, peace be A.H., is a diddler. Can't have your death toll and eat it too. That's a good phrase.
Nope, that is correct. If all these people are actually adults, then you can't say all these kids died.
If all these people are adults, then I choose the cow.
I would choose the cow.
Yeah. I just got a new microphone. So, sure.
That's the one I have. For some reason, my
Wait, that's the one you have?
volume goes up and down. Yeah.
You got this. You have the same microphone. I didn't even notice, man.
Huh?
You're just imitating me. You're just copying me. You're just copying me. Wait, no, I have a different one.
Oh, you got a different?
Yeah, I have a different model. Like I only have this.
Oh, you got model. You got the XL. I've got that one too. I got 3 of those. He's trying to impress everyone. I got 3 of those.
No, I finally got a new microphone after many, many years of using the same crappy Blue Yeti microphone. Yeah, finally did it. I never get new equipment. Finally did it. Christopher Fonte said if Asha was 9, then no, I didn't.
Sad.
Vinny the Pooh said, did you hear about the Behzani Sarwar, the security guard accused of firing shots and Molotovs in Edmonton's City Hall in Canada? He was apparently Muslim. I just saw it headline and things. I didn't have much time to look into that. Just saw somebody tweet about it and saw a headline. Don't know much about it. David, have you heard of this?
Did not. I'm looking up right now. Edmonton City Hall shooting suspect was a security guard, released manifestos.
Did you say I did not hit her?
I did not hit her.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Before it was called Germany, it was called Jew-many. Yep. It was Jew-many. It was too many Jew-many. Ayatollah Khamenei, earlier we were discussing turning demolished Gaza into the world's first marijuana dispensary, water park for tourism and peace. We know David Wood is too obsessed with only goats to help the cause, but how about you, AP? Yeah, David is too busy with only goats right now, but I would be completely in favor of doing that. Marijuana dispensary and water park. That's a good idea.
Sarwar had been scheduled for a bail hearing, but his defense lawyer, David Ibrahim, his defense lawyer, Ibrahim.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't see anything about this guy's beliefs here, but he left manifestos, so who knows what's in there.
That's very Islamophobic.
Show me his manifesto, dang it.
That's Islamophobic. Don't look at
Find out what this guy's views are.
Don't look at it as Islamophobic. Ryan Gosling said, I ain't mad at it, AP. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sankey said, David would stream hour-long on-point discussion about deep topics. Christian, AP stream, what about the Barbie movie? Atheist, draw your own conclusions.
Good point.
The Barbie movie is the best. Nuttis said, AP, not just now. Do I need a gaming stream? I need a stream of you and David just talking about movies. We should do that. We should do a stream.
Yeah, we
just
should.
talking about movies. Yeah. About our favorite movies. What's your favorite movie, David?
Mad Max Fury Road.
Haven't even seen it. It's funny.
What?
I haven't seen any of the Mad
Yeah,
Max.
a lot of people disagree, but I mean, you know, there are certain things people like. I like movies where it's the movie is basically one giant never-ending car chase.
That's cool.
But I like dystopic future movies. I like movies where almost everyone dies.
That's nice.
I like huge, massive car chases.
That's
And
nice.
I like any of that sort of Mad Max type stuff, and like very little dialogue, just all action. So anyway,
That's nice. That's cool.
and they're coming out with the prequel to the character Furiosa here sometime soon. It's
cool.
interesting. It's interesting. I forget the guy's name, but the guy who made Mad Max, he was an operating room doctor and in Australia, and they would always bring in these people who are racing on the roads, and they'd be like all mangled, and he's trying to save their lives. But he said he would just start like thinking about what caused it and coming up with these little scenarios of these, what's happening in the outback and stuff, and these guys are dying on the roads, and came up with the whole Mad Max story in his head, and then rolled with it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Yes. Zane gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for expanding the cults and bringing us closer to world domination. Sir Whitemeat said, base David.
That's true.
Giovanna Bockhammer said, here's another 20 since you didn't read my 100. Really? I didn't read your 100? What are you talking about?
Shame on you.
I read your 100.
Probably did.
Well,
Sometimes you don't read them till the end, and then
yeah, that's probably why.
they think you.
I read all of them. I read them all of them. Aiton said it will probably take a full century before the world Jewish population completely recovers from the Holocaust. What?
I'm looking at this dude, so I haven't found anything about the dude's beliefs. It just said he's got manifestos, but then it said it's unclear at this point what exactly motivated the shooter. And like, wait, that's usually Islam. When they say we can't figure out a motive, that's usually Islam. But yeah, I don't know. This guy could believe anything. Could be a total whack job. I don't know. He's. This looks like Muslim garb. Yeah, I don't know. But there are other groups that dress like that. We'll figure it out.
I'll probably look into it later and find it within 1 minute.
I'll find it within 10 seconds.
5 seconds. How about that?
I'll figure it out within 10 seconds of you saying it.
Aiton says it will probably take a full century before the world Jewish population completely recovers from the Holocaust. It would, but you had already people in 1950 saying, "Oh, they complain too much about being victims now." Christian Fabio said, "Imagine you have populations in the world that complain about getting eradicated without even getting eradicated, and then you have others that are blamed because they are talking about a major event where millions of them were actually killed with the aim of eradicating all of them." Christian Fabio said, "Is Hitler's hand deformed in that picture?" If you are talking about the one where he's together with the Mufti, I think yes, because pretty sure that image is upscaled. It was lower quality and it's upscaled. Pretty sure that's what's happening there. That's what you're talking about. Yes. Gordon's Bill Dozer said, "Did you check out Dracula Flow?" No. Ask next time. Ask me next time. And then again the other next time. Joanna Garcia said, "No, David, LMAO, don't block me. I did it out of love. I'm a Woody. A Woody, damn it." David, this is you. I'll just block Giovanni. Yeah. I'll just block Giovanni. Yeah.
Good. You got what you deserve, Giovanni. You get what you deserve on this channel.
Giovanni is blocked now. Okay. So White Meat said, and notice the eyes of the leather straps of the anus. This is why we choose the slippery cow. Yeah. Yeah.
He's being more slippery than the lubricants that he sells in his daughter's sex shop.
Yeah. See, beautiful, powerful stuff. Corners Bulldozer said, bring on Tick story, please. Tick history. Please also check out Damar. I will. You guys and IP should be called the Soul Shalom Crew, which is a play on Soul Shalom Crew, which is a jihadi rap group. It is? Never heard of that. Christian Fabio, Mike Winger is Palestinian, and Mega Nerd, everyone is Palestinian Muslim. Jasper Baolabalo said, Surah 99933, and ye who follow the Prophet Momo shall not eat pork for all ham for Allah. This is an actual verse, but this was lost. It was eaten by the pigs. Mark Strock says, tell David Wood I love him. Nope, I will never tell him that, and he will never know. He will never find out. David will never know. David will never know. Giovanni Garcia said, I am a bit concerned all these Muslims are calling David the greatest because we all know where this leads to. Soon they'll be calling him the GOAT. Royal Castriota said, Dihya al-Kalbi is lonely tonight. Tonight?
Yo, you there?
Who, me?
No, my Aunt Maple. Yes, you. I was I was just looking. I was still looking up something about this guy because I hadn't seen anything by it. And
did you just ask me, are you there?
Oh, because I turned off my my volume so you didn't hear, because I was listening to the guy because he released video clips and stuff. But yeah, he's talking about, it sounds like, and this is just from some tweets showing some video clips. I can't even verify this is the dude until I check it out. But he's complaining about Gaza.
Oh.
The reason he was doing it was to rise against leaders responsible for genocide in Gaza.
Interesting.
What are you laughing at?
The funny thing is, so what I just said, no, I will not tell David, and David will probably never find out.
Yeah, I heard you saying that, but I didn't know what you were talking about and didn't care.
Oh, you heard that?
I heard you saying it, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
I turned off my volume so you wouldn't hear this. I could still hear through one headphone.
Then why are you asking me if I'm there? I don't understand.
So you can verify. So you can verify that when I turn my mic on, it's still working.
Is that what that means? Are you there?
Are you there yet?
Yeah. Are you there?
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? 72.
Woo! Nice stuff, Chloe. Hector said to AP, have you heard about the Jews building a space force? They're going after the 72 space virgins.
Hey, I just said something about 72 space virgins. That's pretty wild.
It says it in the Talmud. Oh, really? It says it in the Talmud? Huh. It says that in Space Shulchan 14b. That's probably where it says that in the Talmud. Yeah. Most likely.
No, it's in Libra David.
Or in God Shas. Goat Hub says, hey, David, hit the goat. And I'm not talking about your figurine, just 15% off.
This person actually does funny marketing. This person would be good.
I know.
Would be good at making funny ads for stuff.
Yeah, you should make funny ads for the actual Goat Hub thing.
I remember this I saw a commercial. I was still in high school, but I thought it was hilarious. I don't know why other people didn't. It started off showing these nice animals, and it says, so as it's going through them, it says, the rooster, man's wake-up call for centuries. The cow, one of the most peaceful creatures, blah, 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 and provides milk for blah, blah, blah. And it says, the pig, contrary to popular misperceptions, is one of the smartest animals in the world. Here's an idea. Let's eat Thompson's barbecue sauce. And I was like, I thought that was awesome.
That's very good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Huh?
What?
What are these people talking about, man?
Who?
I'm looking at Jake Shields' Twitter feed right now. It's just so stupid. Oh my God, it's just beyond stupid. It's unbearably stupid. Like I'm not sure if I'm more angry about the fact that this is so stupid or about the fact that they share so much nonsense and market it as true. Gornos Bulldozer said, "Remember, I'm Batu Khan." Oh yeah, totally. Don't know what you're talking about, but yes, absolutely remember. Never forget. Chloe L said, "AP, one microphone, one nihilistic existence. David Wood has 3 microphones owned by one super genius. 3 and 1, 3 in 1. The Trinity confirmed. Time to convert. AP. Don't say 3. Don't say 3, Chloe. Don't say 3. The Quran says, do not say 3. Desist." Mother Queen became a YouTube member.
That would be funny. That would be some funny kind of skit, like it's a madrasa and kids just when they're talking about something and be like, "Hey, I want 3 of those," and the guy just slaps the crap out of him. Bam! Say not 3. And like the whole video is all these situations where someone might say 3 and getting the crap slapped out of them.
That's good.
So Allah needs to be a bit more clear, not just issue these blanket commands that are stupid.
That's good. That's good.
Say not good.
Also, don't forget about his cousin Imba to come. What? I know about Batu Khan, which is a historical character. I don't know what Imba to come is. Also, how do I make kosher cheeseburger? You make it. You just make it.
Yeah, you know about the problem with that, right? You can't have a cheeseburger.
Yes, I think so.
I guess if you had fake cheese, it would be acceptable. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Ayatollah Khamenei said, "Witness me detonates leather straps." Mother Queen.
That's you don't know that. That's from Fury Road.
I don't know that.
They ended up with like a weird, almost Islamish cult, and they would say, "Witness me," whenever they're going to do something crazy to die, and they were all like obsessed with dying to go through the gates of Valhalla.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Zayn said that is a thing. Microphone made by Jew Mossad confirmed. Huh, that's true. That's true. Trillion said AP bro. Somebody also said AP no. I don't know what you guys are talking about here. Mother Queen made a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Gorno's Bulldozer said the hashish got me moving like a Qatari oil tycoon. Chloe L, because it's Aussie Day, I have the day off work. It's Friday. Nothing better to be doing on a Friday than drinking the greatest coffee while watching the greatest Christian kafir. And AP is here too. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Wouldn't it be weird to be in prison in Australia, like in an actual prison in Australia when the whole island is a prison? Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I think
you'd be like in double prison. You'd be like, hey, if I get out of this prison, I'd still be in the island prison. Isn't that weird? That's weird stuff.
I think Australia just looks like Mars. It's like I recently I was watching a documentary about images from Mars colorized, and it just looks like I'm looking at Australia. Like, what's the difference really? I saw like Australia, the almost the entirety of Australia except for the coasts looks like Mars, and Mars just looks like Australia. I don't know what the difference is. It's like such a ridiculous place.
Yeah, and they've got all these dumb kangaroos hopping around. That would be like something from Mars.
Yeah, at least on Mars they don't have kangaroos. That's why Mars is probably better than Australia.
I come from a land down under.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at
At what?
Not this. Not this.
Splunk, unveiling the magic behind digital resilience.
Look at this. It looks exactly like Australia. Like, this is literally what Australia looks like.
That is.
Look at this. This is what most of Australia looks like. This is why I was even thinking, like, I was watching the documentary and they were showing all these scenes from Mars, and I was thinking, yeah. You just go to Australia, take a bunch of photos and videos and say, hey, this is from Mars. Yeah.
I had a dumb thought. Because in a recent tweet, I pointed out that I said, you have all these nations now, like the UK, and they're wondering what to do with all the jihadis that they've let in, or jihadis that are actually citizens and so on. And what do we do with them? And like, where do you put them? And I said, I said, God gave us this entire extra continent to deal with this. And I was, I put a picture up of Antarctica. And I said, just tell them that penguins are little girls in burqas and they'll all run down there. And so I pointed that out. But then right as we were talking about Australia, I was thinking, well, I mean, why couldn't we use Australia for that purpose, like deport the criminal population of Australia and use it to house all these jihadis. And then, like, as soon as I thought that, I was thinking, oh, those poor koalas and kangaroos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not going to work. There's too many living things who would be molested by.
Well, I was thinking,
No,
there is a better solution, which is like, for example, with the whole Israel-Palestine problem, for example, like we have Mars now, and there's more and more the possibility of creating, experimenting with life on Mars, living on Mars, and possibly building a colony on Mars. And it could be a perfect place to, send people to have a new home for themselves, where they don't need to be bothered by anyone else.
72. Yeah, just
But
look,
look,
there's
this
72 space virgins.
Look here. This is Australia. You don't even, like, some people probably look at this and think I'm still showing Mars, because it's literally the same thing.
Yeah, because we think there's all this shrubbery on Mars.
Yeah, it's literally look at this. Here's Mars. See, here's Mars. Then here's Australia. Same thing. Exactly the same. Nobody's talking about this. Yes. Chloe said, "Step into the seventh heaven. My latest Farfour song may be more catchy than 72 Space Virgins. Look forward to your reactions." I will check it out. We'll check it out one day, inshallah. And that day might be very, very close.
Step into the seventh heaven, kids.
Let's see.
70. Woo!
Paradise, there is a market in which there is love. So running through, you can be stuck right into the center of the world. Hello. Yeah, in the market, there will be no buying, no selling, except for images of men. And women, sex is your only one. Jihad away, right into jihadi stuff, right into the seven heaven. Signs in which he enters heaven. There's a market where a man can choose between a man or man and step right into the.
I love the fact that she included Ryan Gosling.
There's Pikachu.
This is Ryan Gosling is my favorite.
Right into
Oh, there's Pikachu. Hey.
seven heaven.
This is funny stuff. This is funny stuff, Chloe. This is funny stuff. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff.
Pretty good.
I like the music here. Where did you get the music from? Did you just take are those did you put them together? Did you splice them together? Did you find royalty-free stuff? Did you make it? I don't know. Tell me. Let me know. Mother Queen said, "Ha, send love from Indonesia." David Wood sends help. Yes. God bless you both. I agree. David Wood sends help.
It's what I do. It's what they do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Joshua Wooden said, AP, I will let Shields destroy me in a cage fight only after you destroy him on Tim Pool. Public debate, Mojob intellectually molested. As in AP versus Jake. I will see. I will see. Sir Whitemeat said, what? 1 + 2? Muslims will never know. They would not know. They don't know. Unless Dr. Zakir Naik tells them. I do want to make somebody brought up 6-hour live stream. I do want to make a long review of my debate with Daniel Chuchu. I do want to invite several people for that Daniel Chuchu review.
Yeah.
I might do that next week sometime. Or something.
Heck with that. Do that Saturday. Start at like 4 o'clock. Start at like 4 o'clock on a Saturday and just go. Just go until it doesn't matter if it's like 2 in the morning.
Maybe. Chloe, did you tell me why? Oh, AI generated music on my movie maker. Really? That is AI generated music? Huh. That's funny. That is funny. I wanted to try that out. Never did. I should look into that. Muhammad in his tent be like, I'm about to blow. So Islam is the reason we don't have Half-Life 3. Yes, that's the exact reason. That's the exact reason. I don't know why I still have pictures of Mars up here. I should probably get rid of them. So this is what Mars looks like for those who are curious. Okay. Yes. Lazy Sunday Gamer said, hey all, I'm new here. Can you introduce me? Also love you too. I have watched almost all streams the past few days. And thank you for showing me what Islam really is.
Lazy Sunday. Wake up in the late afternoon. Call up AP just to see how he's doing.
Yeah.
That was a song, Lazy Sunday. Remember that one?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Welcome to the club, Lazy Sunday Gamer. You are now officially part of the cult. And that's amazing. Free PlayStation 6. You're gonna wait for a long time for that one.
Free PlayStation 6.
Nada said, Mr. Pope, AP of the custom CK3 religion of Ridvism, please accept my Sikh indulgence, for I have sinned and the prisoner died. Now I will jihad for you. God, now you make me want to play that game, man.
Ridvism actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's probably something I would I probably wouldn't do that. I take those games very seriously.
Ridlam. Rizlam. That'd be funny.
Oh, I saw earlier there's been a new update to that game, I think, to Crusader Kings 3. Of course, David doesn't know what we're talking about. He thinks, what are you talking about? What is this? What game?
No, I'm sitting here thinking like this is like when I talk to like vocab and stuff, everything's about Star Wars, and I think that's the nerdiest thing imaginable. And then the video game.
Cheeky Shaky said, "Happy Australia Day, Australia." How does Australia have a national anthem, or does it have its own anthem, or do they just saying we are also happy about the king and God bless the king and stuff? Is that what they do? I don't know. Somebody let me know.
They come from a land down under.
Yeah. Free Palpatine, free PlayStation 6. Yes, Australia has a national anthem, LOL. Really? Isn't Australia just a province of the United Kingdom? I thought Australia is just a province of the United Kingdom and it doesn't really have its own thing.
I thought it was just a prison.
Yeah, it's a prison as a province. Yeah. Provision.
I come from a land down under.
Ayatollah Khamenei said AP is the Jake Shields of Mars. What in the hell does it even mean? Hector said Chloe's video made my iman stronger.
Before watching Chloe's video, I was a Muslim. And after listening to the song, I'm still a Muslim, alhamdulillah.
And Nada said, I make me want to play it. Maybe you should then stream it. I don't know. I like playing games in privacy. That's why I don't play online games, I think. But maybe I could do that. I don't know. Sid Dave said David Wood or Daily Wire. We don't know which one that refers to. It might be Daily Wire. So Daily Wire or David Wood, if Palestine is established and Bethlehem ends up being in that state, would that be a sad day for Christians? David, if this is for you, not for Daily Wire, just in case, you might want to answer this.
Well, it would. I don't know. I think even if it's just completely controlled by Muslims in a Palestinian state, I think they'd be insanely stupid not to want Christian tourism in the city. So I'm not convinced that Muslims would not allow the tourism when it would be so financially beneficial to them. And if they were stupid enough to just rule out Christians or something like that, I just don't think this. I think that would indicate that the state is under the worst imaginable leadership and that they would not survive. And so we can wait.
I choose to kill. Yeah, that's all I want to say about it. Chloe says, to be honest, at this point, I don't believe, and I never hope that such a state will be established. In fact, I think it will be better for everybody involved, for all of humanity, if the entire goal of establishing a Palestinian state is completely given up. I think it's a stupid idea. It has recently proven to be a completely stupid idea. There is no hope for it. There should be no hope for it. It is just a dream for terrorism and hate. I think that the best idea to have would be to establish an Israel that encompasses all of that land, or maybe to have Gaza for Palestinians, but to shield it and build a wall that goes as far as up to outer space. Yeah, so that nobody can possibly send anything over that wall. But at this point, I think it's not a completely unreasonable idea to suggest that all of the land should be Israel, and that all of those who don't want to live in peace in that land should just relocate themselves to different lands. Which some people will say, oh, that means that's literally ethnic cleansing. No, it's not. It's not ethnic cleansing, you idiot. Don't make me mad. Chloe L said, "Land Down Under" song comes from Kookaburra song. Comes from
I know.
Kookaburra.
They thought that was so old that it was public domain, so they made their song with that as a little melody, and then they found out after it went to number one that song was still under copyright, and so they had to send the money to whoever came up with that Kookaburra melody. So anyway, someone got really, really rich from that.
So I asked earlier if Australia has a national anthem. Nobody said anything, so I assume it doesn't have a national anthem. And the Australians just sing "God Save the King" or "God Save the Queen." That's apparently what's going on here. Their national anthem goes like that, like "God Save the Queen." Yeah.
Why wouldn't they use the Captain Kangaroo song? That was before your time. You don't even remember Captain Kangaroo, because that was when I was a little kid.
I don't know.
Captain Kangaroo, man.
Australia's national anthem is I think, as far as I know, it is "God Save the Queen" by the Sex Pistols. I think that is actually their anthem. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in the chat.
No, I know their national anthem.
What is it?
I'm breaking rocks in the hot sun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. You know what I mean?
Huh. What is that?
Or that's the sound of the men working on the chain gang. Ooh, something like that. Or Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash. Basically any of the prison songs.
Yeah.
Jailhouse Rock, Elvis Presley.
Oh, I heard that one. Actually, it actually goes. Australia's anthem goes like "God Save the Queen," like that. Sex Pistols wrote it. Goldhub said, "I know what you should play with instead of a nerdy game." Stop it. Color Passport made a super chat. Thank you, appreciate it. Gordon Spoiler said every Exian should know Joshua Graham from Fallout. Hey, stop copying Muslim Cowboy. Stop copying Muslim Cowboy.
Hand was some cowboy playing my guitar. What a jam, man.
Exians. Not as sad. You won't stream it because you know Allah would show you as bad. Yeah, I know. And then people will watch my stream and will say, before this stream, I was a Muslim, and after this stream, I'm still a Muslim. My iman got stronger. I'm afraid of that, which is why I don't want to stream video games live. Immortal17 said, bend over and shaky booty, go hard. I know. Yeah. I know those people very, very well. Very, very, very well. Farfour said, guys, I just a premium membership to this awesome site. Nothing but hot goats. Sir White made the Australian national anthem is the sounds of gang violence. Really? Oh, okay. That makes sense. I didn't know that. Chloe L. Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and... Huh. That's interesting. I guess that's part of the national anthem too. Immortal17, why not Palestine and Israel just shake hands? That's what I have been suggesting all along.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to be coming up with that idea.
Or if they can't even shake hands, become pen pals.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Find a pen pal. Israelis, find a pen pal. Palestinians, say hello to Israel. Rego Barnabas said the whole Arabian Peninsula is slowing under the Arabian Sea and under the Indian subcontinent due to tectonic plate activity. Will the Kaaba be moved, or will it be known as the Kaaba down under?
I come from the Kaaba down under.
The Kaaba cannot be removed. It has to be turned into a place where we can freely urinate.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we made that pretty clear. The Kaaba. Master Debater said, question for David Wood. Micah 4:3 says that when Messiah comes, there will be no more wars. How do Christians explain this? Thank you, AP, for all you do for Israel.
Yeah, look up Second Coming of Jesus. I'm not telling you. I'm telling Master Debater here.
Do you hear what you just said?
What? Master Debater? Yeah. I'm not a moron.
Terrible. Yeah, so that's what David is saying. Unfortunately, he's using childish things like Master Debater while he's responding to you. But thank you for that super chat, dear Master. Chloe L says, Advance Australia Fair, our home is girt by sea. Yes. Sid Dave said, AP, Daily Wire, would space colonization and establishing human colonies impact religion, especially Islam? Because Muslims won't be able to do a Ramadan on other planet. It's David Wood or Daily Wire, if space colonization proceeded further, what would happen to your religious beliefs, David? See? Speechless. David can't even respond to this. Humiliated. You finished. You're finished.
You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done.
Wouldn't impact my belief. I would think it's awesome, and that if you can do it, do it.
You're finished. You're finished. See, you got finished.
I say colonize the entire universe.
You got finished by one simple question. By one simple question.
He's being more slippery than the lubricants that he sells in his daughter's sex shop.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think Islam would have big problems with that. Definitely. Sid, Dave. Notice that, is there any of the MJ Beat It song on the Goat Hub? There probably is. Yeah. With goat sounds in the background. Beat it. It goes like that. Mo said, suspect my wife is cheating on me. I told her she had to sleep on the couch, but her attitude is unchanged. What should I do? I will not read the rest. Thank you. Jesus. Yeah. Mo.
You're sick. You are sick.
That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say here. And
Get the hell out of here.
Master Debater said, where can I find the soundboard? I can't tell you because
it is a metaphysical matter.
No, it's just called Stream Deck by Elgato. That's what it is. Tell him said Uno. I think he's using a Uno reverse card here. I don't know what's happening. Chloe L said, I swear on the Karen of Meccas. Alan's Karen of Meccas. Now, I don't know if you're referring to Mecca or to McDonald's, because we just recently learned that in Australia you refer to McDonald's as Meccas. Alan's Chalk Snack Bar. Yep, exactly. Goat Hub said you're finished. No, you're finished.
You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done.
Yes. After this very enlightening live stream where we have analyzed everything that is important and intricate in this world, I want to thank everyone for joining. Unfortunately, we have to keep the live stream short today.
What we do?
Yeah,
I was putting together the lyrics for the Australian national anthem. If they don't have, since they don't have their own,
they don't have an anthem, but
no, I started it. Ready?
Yeah.
I started it. So this is just the beginning. It's gonna need some work, but I hear koalas coming. They're rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck here in Australia, and time keeps dragging on. But I hear train keeps rolling on down to old Melbourne. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Sydney just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. And so this is a part where I need something about kangaroos.
This sounds very familiar, oddly familiar.
Yeah,
no one knows what this sounds like, but it sounds kind of familiar. It's pretty good, though. It's pretty good.
It's going to be epic.
Finally, Australians can have their old national anthem after this. So this is a very noble pursuit, David. Very, very commendable. Thank you for what you're doing. Immortal 17 says, spent my mom's card on a goat named Maboob in Goat Hub. Hope she doesn't find out. We want to talk about serious things on this channel. We want to talk about serious things on this channel. Notice says, remember, keep giving a little $2. They can't leave. Shut up. I'm just going to leave. Proverbs 17:11 says, a salami bacon, pork crispy with a lot chicken wing. Yeah, this is beautiful. I learned that prayer when I was 5 years old. Michael James said nothing and just made a super chat. I appreciate that. Goat Hub said Maboob is our best one. Good choice. Yeah, it is one of the best. I would say not necessarily the best, but probably one of the best. Okay, David, anything else you want to offer before we go?
John O'Cash.
Yeah, he was actually an Aussie bloke.
John O'Cash.
Yeah. God save the Queen. God defend New Zealand. God bless America, and thank Christ for Australia. Huh. Which Queen? What Queen are you talking about? Which Queen is that?
The band Queen. Duh. Bohemian Rhapsody. Duh.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Michael James. Thank you. Farfour said you can't leave. I can. Sir Dr. Whitemeat said master debater. Thank you. Appreciate it. I didn't know it was that good, but thank you. Nada said this is some more jizya, nothing else. Filler. Stop wasting your money. David, anything else?
Nope.
Thank you.
Lose faith. I tell you, lose faith. It's better for you. You're sitting there watching Netflix. Get the hell out of here.
And with all of that said, with that beautiful message out of the way, have a fantastic day, everybody. And as always, I'm down $100 from your 2 streams, LOL. That's a terrible choice. That's a terrible choice.
Belongs in Australia.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as always,
stay away from Islam.